The life of
The sun is high, we're feeling good in Miami where the spirits of Miami fans talk and stand to unite. Miami stands to fight, lights burn bright. From the water they rise, spins cut the air, storming fields.
Do it, hey, screw, because of the Dolphins, we
Way to
screwed
go,
up.
Steve Malloy. Way to go,
I
Steve
know. Whatever. I figured it out pretty quick. Good evening, Dolphin fans, and welcome to Fins Talk post-game show here on FTSN. I'm Bobby Fins Talk, joined by Finn Stanza, Finn Sammy, and Doll of Doll's Diaries. When you have a showing like today, you got to get the All-Stars, and I'm sure it's going to get loud, it's going to get rowdy, but we're family here. We'll have a blast. It wasn't so blastful for Miami losing today 6-31. I mean, my goodness, if it could be bad, it was freaking bad. What the F was that? Let's see here. Make sure I fix this. All right, because I don't want another screw up there. We got Brett Legassi joining us shortly. I think Greg in a little while. So we got everyone coming in here to get their 2 cents. And actually, Brett just popped in, so we'll throw him in there. Booyaka. There it is. Everyone joining in. Everybody's coming.
You're talking so much.
Appreciate it. You got
so ready to go.
You got Rob in there of Dolphins Thirsty. You got Ray. He says fire everybody. Orion in there. DSG, Raphael. All good to see you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Let's go around the panel here to introduce everybody. And I'm going to go based off how long I think someone's going to talk. So Evan will be last.
Who's going to go first? Jesus.
Let's start with Doll, and then we'll go with Brett, then Sammy, then Evan, because I know Sammy and Evan were on the Fitz Faithful podcast earlier today after the game to give their initial thoughts, but I'm sure now they time to digest, watching the press conferences and that load of I saw bits and pieces, and I was at thank God I went to church. I feel better now a little bit, but still I didn't have enough holy water to get that off of me. But still, first off, Doll, how are you? It's been a minute. I haven't seen you in a while, so great to see you here on the post-game show. How are you doing, and your initial thoughts on this game?
Yeah, it's been a long time since yesterday, Bobby.
I know.
I'm great. I didn't watch the press conference because I don't give a shit. And I made a delicious dinner. Crock pot is out. So, yeah, emotionally I'm numb. It was about as embarrassing as you can get. I'm glad we finally benched Tua late in the fourth. I don't like that they also benched a couple of other offensive linemen to not hurt Tua's feelings. I will say, and I'm going to record, Devon Achane does not deserve, this team does not deserve Devon Achane. I'm just going to let you guys, I don't want him to go, but they don't deserve him. I don't actually hate how our defense played. Some of the calls were BS and I don't agree with them, but they were probably they actually seemed like from last week, I feel like they improved in their aggression. Like they actually seemed like they had a little fire under them, unlike the offense who looked, I don't know, like they were catching daisies. I don't know. But I didn't hate the defense. I didn't love the defense. But if there was a positive I could say, it would be that the defense, they actually looked energized. Like they were getting some pressure. That's all I have. I'm sorry. The special team sucks. I don't want to see DS return anything. I like Malik back there better. I hate Tua. I hate our offensive line. I hate Mike McDaniel. I hate Chris Greer. I hate Stephen Ross. I just like, we're here, man. Thank God I don't do drugs or drink because I'd be fucking in a ditch.
Oh my good. I think I like that perspective because everyone's everyone more than likely is gonna crap on everything, and you're like, hey, you know what? I gotta give a little bit of credit to the defense. So good on you for that. Shout out. We got Will Padron in there of 305 Sports Now. Eric says she's a hater. We got.
Who am I hating on other than the people that deserve my hate?
I think that's fair. Brett Legassi in the house. This is Brett's second post-game show this
Yes.
season. I think he loved it last time, so he's back.
Hey, I'm
Brett-
making time for it this year.
My brother from
You-
another mother. What the
Oh.
hell? First off, how are you? How's the fam? And
Family's
what's up
good.
today?
Family's good.
Good.
Family's great. We had a good weekend. Had a little Halloween party last night. It was fun. I went to a friend's house. That was a highlight of the night. Well, highlight of the weekend because it definitely wasn't today. But
No, it
all
wasn't.
I could do was laugh today, man. The positive of the day. My daughter wanted subs for dinner. The subs were phenomenal, and I got a little ice cream. That was the highlight of the day.
there you
And
go.
I got some chores done around the house. That's pretty
so-
bad. God, that's bad.
It is bad. So 31-6. I mean, again, Evan, myself, Sammy, we all picked Miami to lose, and that's not giving credit, saying, "Oh, we called it." I mean, it's not pretty hard because we didn't trust the Dolphins. No one should trust the Dolphins,
Right?
But even though we all picked the Dolphins to lose, Evan had it 17-13, I had 17-14, Sammy had 20-9. We did not expect this.
No.
Sammy was the closest, so give Sammy credit, but
Right.
we did not expect.
Actually, let me tell, but I was the one who was closest. So.
You were the close.
Oh,
Brett,
it's so bad.
brother, what
I-
happened?
So it's like I told you last week. Like I think the team quit. The team was getting tired of every time we turn around, everybody's getting blamed but Tua. It's the receiver's fault. It's the offensive line's fault. Mike McDaniel, week one. There's more to those interceptions than lead on. It's not just on Tua. And it's like, man, we're gonna dog everybody in the media, but McDaniel has no problem saying, "Oh, he needs to play better. We got to deal with that. He's got to step up, whatever." But we never say anything about that with Tua. And I think it just became this whole thing from the very beginning. McDaniel was hired to protect Tua's feelings, and it just finally snowballed. And now players are resenting Tua, resenting McDaniel, resenting the front office because they all went around Tua and they paid Tua. He's making twice as much as everybody else on the team. And everybody's just kind of like, he doesn't have to play great. I'm done. I'm tired. Like, imagine just your everyday job. Like, I've had guys that made more money than me, but I carried the load. And I'm like, it burns you out mentally. It's the same kind of mentality. So, like, if you don't feel appreciated, I don't think the players do. I think they're done. They quit. And it doesn't matter what coaches you have in here. Like, everybody wanted the nice coach. But this is what happens when you get a coach like Calais Campbell is saying, like, that was the easiest training camp I've had in years. And that wasn't a red flag to some fans. That should have been. But, like, to me, that's why I'm like, fire McDaniel, Greer. Ross sell the team because you're an idiot for allowing it to continuously happen. Ross has been an embarrassment his entire ownership. All the scandals, all the tampering, all that. And then you just see Sean Payton, his team just battled with a legit quarterback that they have. The Giants have a quarterback, and they're all of a sudden their team turns around. And as you look at us, and we're just an embarrassment of the team. Like, the only team that's worse than us is the Jets.
Are they though?
I don't know. No, not really, because the Jets, those 12 penalties for 107 yards, whatever it was a difference in them beating us and us beating them. So I don't think that we are that much better. But Tua was awful. All three interceptions were on him. He didn't recognize the blitzes coming off the edge. That was not on the offensive line. Offensive line is not responsible for corners coming off the edge. That's the quarterback. Offensive line can't see that. He can. He has to identify that. And it wasn't all that disguise of coverage. And then in the safety or the interception in the end zone, Tua has to know there's pressure's coming fast. They're going to blitz me here. Pressure's going to come fast. Someone's going to be open to get the ball out. And then the final interception, that was just all just bad play. Now, to Dahl's point, though, like the defense, when it came to the pass interferences, I was watching all the game. Like, I watched a bunch of a red zone, and every time I saw pass interference, I only saw one that I thought was pass interference. The Broncos got called pass interference and gave the Giants the ball at the 1 yard line. I thought it was BS. I thought it was just good coverage. Then I saw Washington, the Dallas corner safety barely touched the receiver. They called it impeding, pass interference because of impeding, but I've seen more egregious than that. So if they want to call it legal contact, I can see that, but pass interference, no. But like I think pass interference is getting really soft around the NFL, and that's been a topic for the last couple of years. So I'm not trying to give the defense excuses. However, it's kind of hard, like with some of the way they're calling pass interference. I'm not really knocking, because the one that they called it on was kind of like, it was ticky tacky. And then like Sealer's penalty, he's got to get lower, but he's 6'5". The quarterback is 5'11". He put his hands on his head. I kind of looked at that. I was like, that's ticky tacky. It's kind of hard. I get why they called it, but I also understand like that's hard on Sealer. You just got to coach him out. Like, hey, you got to get lower against him. But that's the kind of details that coaches like Belichick would pay attention to, not our coaches. Our coaches don't really pay attention to small details like that. And that's something that, again, that comes down to coaching. And McDaniel, his play calling is getting bad, but it's because he's handicapped himself in the offense. It's his fault we have Tua, or that we're stuck with Tua because he wanted to go pay him. So he's just as culpable as Greer is for that. So that's why I would say everybody's got to go. Clean house.
So,
and damn it,
Sammy,
Stefanski might have saved his job.
I know. Yeah.
I was Stefanski, and then damn it, he just blew us out.
That's right. That's right. I was with you. I said, hey, if Stefanski becomes available, that's a guy I'm looking at, and maybe Browns fans were that. No, don't do it, Trisby. But no, I just think he's in bad place as well.
Or Dayball. Get Dayball, get him to find another quarterback like we did with Dart and Allen. Like, come on.
Sammy, my brother, first off, saw you earlier today. Very quick. How was your Sunday?
Miserable. But
okay.
As expected, because high hopes were not there when we talked in the morning about the prospect of the Dolphins. I've been thinking a lot after the game because I said, George makes a lot of fun of me saying I'm kind of a politician. So I say I had to find a nice quote to share with you all. And I found a quote that says, if you can't defend the indefensible, anything you say sounds self-serving or hypocritical. So I'm not here tonight to defend anyone because they don't deserve it.
And that's why I wanted to ask you, because earlier today, and you have, we talked about Tua, we discussed Tua, and Evan had a little bit of a small debate. Evan and I had a better debate after with Devon Ancient, but you guys did discuss Tua. But Tua today, 12 of 23, 100 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 24.1 passer rating. Listen. We understand people have bad games. We get it. But that was a terrible game. And then the body language during the game, the body language when he came out, the what we heard after. What's your thoughts on Tua after this game? And we're going to get Greg in here right now too as well.
Greg.
Basically.
Go ahead, Sammy.
Sarah, sorry.
No worries. Hi, Greg.
How you guys doing? What a fun day, huh? Isn't this beautiful? Come on.
Well,
An historical day for the franchise.
The OT crowd in. It's phenomenal. I got two people to defend me tonight. It's really phenomenal. I'm so excited.
Oh my God!
Evan, I'm watching you in your mouth on HN. Just remember that I'm watching you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Just remember. I already asked Bobby yesterday.
I know.
I gave HN his props today. I gave HN tons of props today.
Sammy, real quick, Dahl. Once we explain the whole HN thing, it may be a little bit more clear.
There's it's cute. You think I'm reasonable when it comes to him. That's adorable. Have you ever met a pissed off Italian woman?
Oh shit, he's Xavier Howard for you all over again.
He's my new ex. You didn't know that? I claimed him in the off season.
Oh, all right, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Sammy, my bad, man.
No, I'll wait for it because that sounds interesting. I'm basically lost, but that sounds interesting.
But Tua, let's get to Tua, Sammy, because because you get your perspective of the game, but I know you weren't Fitz faithful earlier. But I know you like you said, self-proclaimed Tuanier when he was drafted, and you've been supportive of the and But with today, man, what's your thoughts on him today, and maybe going forward as the Dolphins quarterback?
Sadly, this is the page turner for Tua. Again, there's things that you just can't defend. Today, the whole game wasn't on him, but basically he set the tone for the whole game because just horrible. The body language, the attitude. I don't know. Before the game, I basically even call it because I remember I told everyone that it reminded me of that game against the Titans that basically Brian Flores. So I kind of sense it coming, but it's still even worse than I ever could have imagined. I don't think he's gonna be able to escape from this. This is for me. I supported Tua. I have no shame in supporting Tua. I think he's getting benefits. It's not this next season. It's not after this season. The year after of a change of scenery, because I think that the bell has tolled for Tua because I don't think he can overcome this. It's sad because, of course, he's changed so much. It's like I told Jason today. It's not like he regrets. It's like he went to to factory settings just before Brian Flores. He's so back. It's not even regrets. It's not. I always say I'm gonna keep supporting Tua as long he goes a steady climb. He gets better. He finds some. Yes, until last season he got hurt, but now he's back to factory settings to Brian Flores Tua. So
factory settings. I love
I just can't defend the defensible. So it's sad for me. It's a sad day for me. Those are who always have hit it on Tua are gonna do their victory lap. If you feel the need to do a victory lap at the cost of the Dolphins, have at it, because for me it's a sad day after the Dolphins fan for sure.
Yeah, as long as Greer gets fired, I'll do a victory lap.
So Evan, are you cool if I jump to?
Sure.
Evan, are you cool if I jump to Greg before I get to you and then finish up with me?
One word.
Yes, sir.
I want to say one statement that Greg can jump over, and then I'll let Greg go. Key stat for everyone, because I said it on the Fin Faithful podcast. There's a quarterback who has thrown 2+ interceptions since 2022, and who's the leader? Tua. Tua's played 47 football games since Mike McDaniel has arrived, and in 25% of those football games, he has thrown 2 or more interceptions. That is all you have to learn about the guy who doesn't think he throws in bunches. He is one every 4 games. He throws 2 or more picks.
Wow.
Greg,
take it from there.
Oh, thanks for that lead in. All right. Hey, I appreciate it, Evan. All right. No, I got into a little bit of a Twitter discussion with Kurt Warner. All right. And I'm not name dropping, just a name drop, but we were talking about interceptions and quarterbacks' responsibilities on interceptions. And basically I said, when I was a coach and our staffs, we broke it down in 3 ways. You either had a bad read and you should never have thrown the pass to begin with. All right. You're throwing into coverage, whatever. You have a good read and a bad throw. Okay. You made the right decision. You just didn't execute the throw right. Or you had a good read and a good throw, and you know what? Stuff happens, and it was an interception, right? Today, all 3 passes, in my opinion, were just bad reads. And this is a culmination of him this year just making awful reads. He keeps throwing the ball to the other team because he's not reading the defense correctly. Okay? The pass to HN that was the pick 6. It shouldn't have gone there in the first place. All right? It was a simple hook flat route. All right? And the hook defender was running toward the flat. The hook was open. It should have went there. Right? And even that being said, if he would have thrown the pass better, it would have been a completion. It wouldn't have been a pick 6. All right? It's just bad. The second pick, he didn't recognize the coverage, didn't recognize the blitz, and then threw the ball over the middle of the field in trouble. All right? You can't do that. And then the third pick, Emmanuel Acho basically broke that play down and said it's a basic cover 3 and you're throwing a seam into the safety. You can't do that. That is quarterback 101. That is something a high school quarterback shouldn't be doing, let alone an NFL quarterback in his 6th year.
Yeah.
All right. It just, you can't make those types of plays at quarterback. You just can't. And I don't want to blame everything on this game on the quarterback, because everybody was awful, right? Anytime you turn the ball over 4 times and you have 11 plus penalties or 11 penalties in a game, you're going to lose. All right. But my God, at least the quarterback has to be better than that.
Yeah.
And I as you all know, I've talked about this in the past. I'm a proponent of the game starts and stops at the quarterback position.
Yeah. And
the quarterback can't be this bad, this consistently, and miss this many reads. Mm-hmm. And this year, I don't know what it is, but he's a lot worse this year reading that simple defenses than he has been in the past. And it's painfully obvious. in the results that we're seeing.
Oh shit! He snitched on himself. He's the one that's not been going to the meetings. Oh,
Man, I'll get into it. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Evan. Evan, go ahead, Brett. Very quick.
real quick, I just want to say I'm not putting this loss and all the losses 100% on Tua. I do want to clear the air on that. The defense has been awful. Our everything has been awful as a team. So it's not all 100% on Tua. I do want to reiterate that because I don't think I ever was clear on that. However, I don't think Tua has given us. He's hurt us a lot in the games. And yes, last week he had us in position to win. They lost, whatever. This week he didn't even give us a chance at all. Like, so that he wasn't the reason we were down, but he also didn't even give us hope in the second half.
I mean,
so I just want to throw that out there.
And I got to tell you, again, no matter how anybody felt about him beforehand, whether you think he was the franchise guy or not, or whether you believed him or not, 2 and on, 2 in here, 2 and hater, whatever, you watched his game, and there's no way you come out of that game going, that was horrendous. It was so bad that we actually saw emotion out of Mike McDaniel. I've never seen when they threw that pick, and you saw McDaniel. I mean, Evan called me at that time
doing this.
Evan was on the phone. Evan called me, right? And I go, "Did you see that?" And he goes, "His finger." Like we didn't even have to say it. Like I go, "Oh shit!" And he's pissed. That was the first time I saw maybe a glimpse of a head coach, a glimpse. So, who's Bobby's brother? Is that Bobby's brother? Which one? What are we talking about? Anyway, no, brother's not around. Brother's not here. But anyway, Evan.
Yes.
Evan.
Yes.
I know you were on the Fins Faithful pod. Shout out to George, Jason Sarney and the crew. But you were on there earlier, but you've had time to kind of digress a little bit, digest, kind of take a look at some of the stuff that's been talked about. We're going to get into some of the comments post-game. We're going to get into other portions of the game with McDaniel and everything. But just initially, man, what you saw when you were watching that game or when you went back to take a look, because I know you were doing dad stuff. Like, we knew, I don't want to say we knew, but we did predict they were going to lose this game. We did not predict this bad. Shout out to Alex, my co-host on East Century was my brother I grew up with, best man, best friend, godfather, my daughter. He's a hopium guy. He's a homer. And if he's watching, I love him, but I'm just going to say it as he's a homer. He's someone who always looks for the bright spots. And he would tell me, man, we could be 3-3 right now. We could be 5 in this, whatever. No. And there's no one can say after this game that Miami could have won this game if they no. This team was bad. Everything was bad. And Tua was horrible. We figured this was going to be a loss, but not like this, Evan. So talk to me about it, man. When you go back and look, what are your thoughts on this game quickly? And then we'll get into other topics. And then just Tua and himself.
Okay, so my overall thoughts, let's start with Tua. I said when the game started that, or before on the pregame show, that Tua has lost his locker room, that I was a Tua-neer, and that he basically fumbled the ball at the podium and fumbled the ball on the field. There's no lack. Now that he has his money, there's a lack of warrior in him, that he has nothing left to prove. And I said when he throws the football, I used to think that he was going to guarantee hit the guy. Now I think he's going to throw an interception or 50-50 ball. How many hospital balls did he throw today? How many poor throws did he have today? The defense, I don't like the fact that they give up at least once a game. They're giving up a big run. I said on the pregame show, Quashawn Jenkins was going to go off, and he had 3 touchdowns. The defense did what they could, but they continued to take penalties. The turnovers, whether it's from D. Eskridge, now the special teams is not doing great. Tua, you've all said what you have to say about him, but obviously I'm going to go to who I cannot stand. Bobby, you wear glasses. Sammy, I think you wear glasses. Do you own a pair of glasses? We all wear glasses, right? What was the weather?
We all wear glasses.
And I took mine off. You wonder why we're all not wearing? You know what's funny? We're indoors. The lights are on. Outside today, it was pouring rain and cloudy. What the heck was he doing wearing those sunglasses?
You worry about such a little thing.
Those 3D meta glasses where he was trying to read through his superpower. How could he even see the play call sheet? He literally was pouring rain. He's wearing sunglasses. What was he doing exactly?
He's going to get mad at me when I say this.
No hat. So he has the rain raining on his glasses, and then they're dark. How can he see? And he's fumbling papers. And everybody's going after him. Or what I've been saying for months, years about him, that he's in his play call sheet. He does not pay attention to what's going on in the game. And no matter what, he has no idea what's going on. My overall concept of today's game, Devon Achane, he almost got him killed on that interception because Devon Achane had to go protect it as best he could, but he's not tall enough to do it. Devon Achane averaged, I don't know what he averaged, 6 rounds a carry. He was great today, but no other person was potentially utilized in an effective way. Like Charles said, Courtney said, he doesn't deserve it. And yes, DSG, I said, when they fire McDaniel, I will send out a mass tweet with the receipt that I bought an Achane jersey. I already said that. That will be my present to myself for my birthday when they fire McDaniel. If they fire McDaniel tomorrow, my birthday still counts. It will be my best birthday present I've ever gotten. Okay, just fire the man. For me today, all it proved is he does not know how to utilize his players. Quinn Ewers, when he came in, number one, I want to just bring this up quickly. I didn't say this on Finn's Fable because I was on for a long time. One indictment on Mike McDaniel, because Mike McDaniel said at the beginning of the offseason, we chose Zach Wilson. We chose Zach Wilson. He chose Zach Wilson to be his backup. How do you F up the backup quarterback position 2 years in a row where in a game where you pay a guy $6 million, you can't even put him in before Quinn Ewers? You actually chosen to put him as your third quarterback, and you chose him to be your backup at $6 million, and you're saying, nope, I don't want him anymore. He doesn't look very good. Let's put him as third. All of a sudden in this game, that's an indictment on Mike McDaniel, the quarterback whisperer. And then when Quinn Ewers came in, the guy made one great throw, I believe, to DeEsters. Besides that, he looked lost. He didn't know what the offense was. Why would he? No one understands this offense. Why no one understands this offense? Because it's bad to begin with. How many? I think I have about 100 tweets, 100 texts between me and Greg and Brett. The same boring play over and over. It is the most predictable vanilla offense. And yes, it's about Tua. But in 2023, it wasn't that vanilla. In 2022, it wasn't that vanilla. They've progressively gotten worse. And at this point, if they don't fire him, they're just going to get worse. But look at the schedule. Bijan Robinson's going to run 300 yards on this team. Then they have to go face Baltimore, probably with Lamar Jackson back. And then they have Josh Allen. And then they have Washington. They're not winning a game in between now and Spain. So whether you fire him at 1-6 or you fire him at 1-9 or 1-10, it's not going to matter. They're going to be 1-9 or they're going to be either 1-6 or 1-10. It's not going to matter. They're not winning a football game between now and after the bye. So whether you wait for the bye or you fire him now, at least give the fans something. But the worst part, the only fear I have is he might scapegoat Weaver. But if I get an alert tomorrow morning, by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, if he's not fired, then I don't know what Stephen Ross is doing. I really have lost my mind.
Well, like I said, he fired Philbin and I forgot now. So he fired them in it was Coyle, right? So he fired them in season, and then he promoted within. So I don't see them fire Weaver unless it's together. I think it's a package deal kind of thing. That's just
there's no point in firing anybody. We suck. We're post 2 in the draft pick order right now, guys. That is a nice thing to hang out to a new GM and head coach.
I like
cool
it.
With it.
I like it. It's
Cool
just you need to be ahead of the curve, unlike last time, when they were
I agree with
behind.
that.
I was at the Senior Bowl, and we didn't know who the hell our coach was going to be. And I see Chris Greer just standing there, like I don't even think he knew what he was looking at the Senior Bowl.
I would.
So I'm like,
right
man,
now,
we don't even know who our coach is.
I need to see Chris Greer fired before everybody.
Yes,
And I'll just
But
say
he's
this:
not. He's going to get promoted to executive valet water boy. That's what I would like.
As long as somebody else makes the football decisions, I'm cool with that.
I don't care where he is. As
Let's
long as I never
stay-
see him on a screen again.
let's stay on. We'll stay with McDaniel, and then kind of roll into wrapping up the Tua talk. Even though we'll never wrap that up because nobody will. But that's somebody today. I mean, this was a lot of the things that went down in this game. We thought we would never see. We'd never see someone else coming in at quarterback when Tua is healthy. We saw that. We saw Quinn Ewers come into the game. Tua was benched today early in the fourth quarter after 3 interceptions. He let him in for one more drive, and I think that was at the 3rd interception. After that, because Evan was ahead of me, and he's like, he threw another pick. I said, no, he didn't. He goes, no, he just threw another pick. And I was behind him, so I was like, I'm hanging up. We had to hang up. But and then after that, that's when Quinn Ewers came in.
I used to text, and then Greg goes, hey, I'm behind you.
Yeah,
Stop doing that.
Stop talking. Ralph would do that. He would call me. Ralph would call me and go, oh, they tore the sunshine. I go, Ralph, I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up the phone.
My phone's
Taking
ahead
away
of
the
my
moments,
TV
man.
app. I don't get it.
I like, you know, you have actual cable. I have this app, you know.
Right.
Anyway, Tua's benched in the loss. And then afterwards, you know, McDaniel, without naming names in the press conference, I don't have it in front of me. I was trying to look for it. But basically, when I was listening to it after, you know, and he basically said, you know, and he didn't mention the player's name, but you, of course, you could assume, because when you're consistently, you know, not doing the right thing, making the wrong plays, doing this, I have to think about what other player I could get in there. I don't have the exact quote. Maybe Evan finds it or anybody. But when I saw that, when I heard that, and then you read up what he was saying after, that screams Tua. And then what Tua says after, saying I have to kind of juggle both roles as if coach and quarterback, and then Tua throwing the bone to someone else. It's just, it is. I told you guys, I said this on pregame. I think I said it yesterday with Dahl on Finn's Talk today. It's not just on the field that this team is effed up. It's in the locker room. It's in the building. I don't understand if you're Stephen Ross, who's not going anywhere, so I'm not going to waste my breath going, we need to sell the team. I'm not wasting my breath on that. But what I could say is, if you really do give a shit about winning, and forgive the language, but if you really care, I don't understand how you could see all this, hear all this, know all this, hear what the national media, not just the local media, not just podcasters and fans or whatever, the national media coming out and going, this is bad. This is a mess. You are a joke. How could you look at this team, look at your team where you're millions and billions or whatever the hell dollars you're spending. You look at this team and you're like, no, not anytime soon. I like the kid. What?
If you're negatively affecting the football team routinely, I don't have a choice to assess a different player. That's this exactly.
Bobby, you're more worried about this football team than they are.
I know. And that's the other thing.
But Bobby,
Greer.
Formula One is tennis, okay?
I know. And then the other thing, Greer.
The vibes are high when they go home to their children, Bobby. They're having fun out there.
You're getting me fired up, girl. You're going to get me fired up.
With that
They
mentality,
all
I
got
said,
a participation trophy from McDaniel in the locker room.
Miami players are like,
halftime.
Miami fans half the time are just like, oh, we're just happy to be here. With like, well, Tua led the league in QBR. Oh, you're just happy to be here then, huh? You don't really care about the winning. Sorry, Bobby. That was a tangent.
No, you're good. All I'm going to say is, no, it's fair. All I'm going to say is, in regards to Greer, again, I said this, like, I'm not holding my breath. Until I see a change happen, I'm not going to. McDaniel, I believe, could happen. And I think after today, after what we saw, there's no doubt that he's living on borrowed time. But it's what comes first. Is it McDaniel or is it Tua? Tua, he's benched in the fourth quarter today. Does he start next week?
No.
Or do we see Quinn Ewers start? That's the thing. How if Evan brought up, Anthony Weaver could be scapegoated for McDaniel. I think it could be where McDaniel tells Ross, says, hey, look, we're going to change the quarterback. Give me a week with this guy. Let's see what we can do. That's what I heard. And that's what I think is going to happen. I can see, but McDaniel, that's the next question. And I'll bring it to you guys. I know what we want, but the legit question is, does he survive this? We'll start with Sammy. But before we get to Sammy, I think we can legitimately see where McDaniel says, let me see what we could do with another quarterback. Let me sit down to it, because there's a divide in the locker room. There's a divide in their relationship. Tua the regression is crazy. Oh, but the offensive line. Oh, but stop with the excuses. You can't tell me you watch this guy and go, oh, it's something else. No, it's him. It's him. It was bad today. And again, I don't know how you can be Stephen Ross and go, hickey dory, it's all good. I just don't understand it. So, Sammy, I'll start with you, and then Dahl, Greg, Brett, Evan. Sammy, does McDaniel survive this loss?
Yes, I'm going to tell you why. I know Evan doesn't like it, but I've been singing the same tune for the whole season. It was Stephen Ross, the one who called Mike McDaniel to his house and extended Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel, basically what he said today was, listen, he said, Steven, I came here to Miami. I did what you wanted me to do. I took your defensive coordinator. I took your GM. I fixed your quarterback as much as I could. You gave me that contract extension. I'm still here, but baby, I cannot do it by myself. I did everything you want me to do, but this is the best I can get. So basically, what he might say to Stephen Ross, let me another chance with another quarterback, because I did everything I could with the circumstances you gave me. So I see an escape route for Mike McDaniel. I'm not saying I will save him. I don't think he's the guy. I never did. I've never been a Mike McDaniel believer. I don't think he wasn't my second, my third choice when he was hired. But I can see a scenario when he can go to Stephen Ross, and Ross will say, "You're right about that. You did everything I asked you to do. You deserve another chance." And knowing the way Stephen Ross is with Chris Greer and with everyone in this organization, he loves giving people the benefit of the doubt. He's done it every single time, so I would not be shocked. The only thing that could basically turn Stephen Ross to say, "Well, I gave you everything you wanted, and that includes the extension on Tua Tagovailoa because you told me that was your guy, and I gave him the amount of the contract that was that humongous amount that he gave us a common extension because basically Mike McDaniel convinced Stephen Ross to give that extension." So I can see an escape route for Mike McDaniel. I would not give it to him, but I can see one.
I think that's fair. Very quick, and then we'll get to Dahl on that. But Mike McDaniel on promoting Quinn Ewers today or to QB2 is much more about him and what he was doing on the football field. I thought he gave us the best chance to win. So we will see. And again, scapegoating, could he say, "Hey, give me a shot with another guy. Let's see what we have in Quinn Ewers. Maybe let me have this draft. If we have the first or second pick, let me go get a Mendoza or one of these guys. Let me see what I can do with him." Maybe he pins it on Tua. Maybe he doesn't. Dahl, does McDaniel survive this?
I mean, I think he's fired regardless. I could see them keeping him till the bye week just because Ross likes to hold on to stupid things. Probably not in his regular business, but for the Dolphins, he doesn't care. But I do think that a scapegoat is going to be had. I'm interested to see if it's going to be Weaver or if it's going to be Tua, because after this loss, someone's got to get a finger pointed somewhere. And I think that if ticket sales remain down, if fans actually do what I'm hearing and it's not going to the games, not showing up, then that could push Ross a little farther because he cares about his bottom line. And if the stands aren't filling and it becomes embarrassing, because I was going to fly back down for the Bills game and I had put it out and every single person told me, "We're not even going to go. Do not bother. Do not go to that stadium. You're going to be the only Dolphins fan there," pretty much. So I was like, I'd get arrested then because I'll talk shit when my team's down by 70. I will still get in a fight. But I'm curious to see. There's going to be a scapegoat, and we're going to see one this week. It's just dependent on, are they going to go after Tua, who has made some dumbass comments, has been super arrogant, has called out his teammates publicly. He seems like the lowest hanging fruit. But you could also go Weaver, whose defense can't stop a toddler. And although today, I did say I will defend them a little bit today. They did have, I think it was like 4 or 5 punts. Like they were getting off the field. It was just then the offense was giving them the ball right back.
Fair enough.
It'll be interesting, but I don't think that a big firing is going to happen till the bye week. I feel like Ross will wait to the bye week.
There you go. Brett?
So, man, I thought that too. And so I brought up about, what was Evan, you said that will take them into Madrid, right? So, I don't know. That's tough because are you really going to have a coach come in at interim and take over in Spain? That would be tough. I think if he's going to do it, I think he'll do it the week before the bye.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll give the interim head coach the time to prepare. I guess I don't know if that's what you meant, Dahl, like before the bye. So he has the bye week to prepare, then Madrid. So maybe that.
Well,
I mean, yeah, I can see it.
I meant like
No,
right
Madrid,
before we
no,
go
it's
on
Madrid,
bye.
then,
And
it's
we have
Madrid,
the
then the
bye.
bye. It's Madrid,
Madrid,
then
then the bye. Okay, all right.
By the
Yeah.
way, just want to make a note, Brett. Just be careful. If McDaniel makes it to Madrid, there's a lot of Dolphin fans in Europe. There could be an international incident.
Well,
Like,
so
you don't want McDaniel going to Europe.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's where I'm like hung up because like
they're crazy in Europe. They're crazy.
I
They're
was
crazier than
making
us.
notes. Ross has been less patient with coaches than he has with with GMs. He fired Philbin. He told Philbin he was the guy, gave him an extension and everything after year 3, after that comeback against the Vikings. And then they end up losing like every game after that. It was the last 2 games. And then Philbin comes back and gets fired after England, basically gets fired on the plane ride home at the bye week, right? And then like he fired the defensive coordinator and the head coach. And then he fired Gase after 3 years. He fired Flores after 3 years. And obviously we still have Greer there. And he hasn't moved on these guys, but he's impatient with the head coaches. McDaniel has been the longest tenured head coach under Chris Greer or under Stephen Ross. Nobody has made it this far. He's 7 games in, and Philbin made it, 4? I forgot how many games Philbin made it. So this is the longest Ross has had a head coach. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But, I mean, this was a blowout loss, as sucky as it is, to a 1-5 team, is a very bad look. And I believe myself really think that this is something that would push Ross to say, I'm done. So something has to change. And I could see him making a change now. I just don't know if it happens. But Chris Greer is the one I hope. I don't think we'd see anything until like the very end of the season, near the end of the season, that he would get fired. But I think this is. I don't think McDaniel saves his job at all. There's no way, because like people have compared. Oh, McVay did it with golf. No, McVay got golf paid, but they was able to move on. But he also took golf to a Super Bowl. Yeah, McDaniel couldn't even take. He barely get him to the playoffs, and Tua did jack shit in the playoffs. So I just don't see it.
And we'll get Greg will come in right next, but I just want Evan to go ahead and talk about what he just posted in the private chat about Darren Waller, an update on Darren Waller and his injury. Go ahead, Evan.
So, Drew Rosenhaus has said that Darren Waller suffered a pec strain. He will undergo an MRI Monday. If it's torn, likely season ending. So, typical Dolphins.
There you go. Get back to Greg. Greg, so yeah, man, you're hearing what everyone's talking about. I know you're following everybody on X, because I appreciate you sending me everything, because I'm so busy with everything that I know that I could trust Greg to send me what everybody's saying anyway. So, but Greg, your thoughts though on McDaniel, and I know what your personal feeling may be, but do you think he survives this?
Yeah, I do. And I think the easiest way for him to survive this is to start Ewers. Bench Tua right now, and say, all right, look, we gave it a shot. He is not progressing. I don't want to put too fine a point on this, all right? But Tua's issues today were egregious. They were really, really bad, all right? Especially for a quarterback at this point in his career, all right? I could actually make the case as a coach to say, look, I gave him one more shot against a bad team on the road, and he still couldn't perform, and he was still making basic mistakes. It's time to move on. I'm going to play Ewers from this point forward. Let me see what I got. And that's how he survives. And if this sparks a little bit of life within this team, that's fine. But the other point of this is it does look like this team has quit playing for Tua. Back in the day, we used to joke on the offensive line, if a quarterback pissed us off as an offensive line, we would do a lookout block. You know what a lookout block is? You basically step aside, let the guy go past you and go, look out.
Look out!
Yep. Look over your shoulder and say, look out. All right? I mean, Miami's offensive line's bad, and, they might be doing that unintentionally, but, it's just today was very, very bad. And you can't put too fine a point on that. And the quarterback play was just god awful.
Yeah.
He was Kim Bokamper said it might be the worst game he's ever seen a quarterback play. Yeah. Right. Yep. And that's saying something. And I'm hard pressed not to agree with him. It was that bad today.
I have a note on that real quick when you're done, Greg.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Brett, because I've got a question for Greg right after.
So, with that, I had just posted on Twitter not that long ago that, I will say I don't think I don't think Tua is the answer. But I've been very clear about that, obviously. But even I will say that as bad as he's been this season, I did not expect him to be this bad.
Exactly.
I expected him to continue to show that he's not the answer, but he's been bad, where it's like I didn't expect that for him to be that, because he's always been at least at the worst, he's just been like below average to above average. That's always been my frustration with him. You can't get him to stay consistent. And man, it's not. I was never expecting. If you told me he was going to be this bad this year, I wouldn't have agreed. If you told me back in August, I'd be like, he's not going to be terrible. He's going to have a bad year, but he's not going to be terrible. But nope, it's bad.
Well, and the thing is he up until this year, all right, you can honestly say he's not a bad quarterback. You might not put him in a great, you might not put him in the top 12 or something like that, but he's in that middle tier, okay? Right now, you have to put him in the bottom 6, 7, 8 quarterbacks in the league. All right. Yeah. And again, I don't, he was really bad. His reads were just flat out awful today. All right. I haven't watched the All 22 yet. I don't even know if it's out yet. I usually watch it on Tuesday. But just from the TV point of view, and just from the things that you saw later on, he was just missing basic reads. He was not seeing basic blitzes. All right. That again, that turnover, that interception he threw while standing in the end zone. It's his job to point out the mic. It's his job to say, offensive line, go to the right. And basically the call was to go left. There was nobody there for that guy to pick up, which means that's on Tua. All right. That's the unblocked defender. That's the quarterback's responsibility. And he missed it. I mean, he just flat out missed it. And it's egregious at this point. You just can't survive this way. And that's why I think the easiest thing for McDaniel to do now is just say, Tua, you're on my bench. You don't get to talk
and that's great
anymore.
Greg, and I want to stay with you on that very quick, and then we'll get Evan in here with his point on it. Again, what you've seen on the field today, the body language from McDaniel, the body language from Tua, what we heard post game, is Tua has been McDaniel's guy. But can we say right now, do we feel from everything we saw, we'll start with you and Evan and get to Sammy, is McDaniel done with Tua?
Based on what I saw today, I think that could very well be the case. It was simple quarterback 101 stuff that you wouldn't expect your quarterback in high school to do. He was missing reads. He missed reads. He's been missing those types of reads all year. And it is a regression at this point. All right. To me, Tua has always kind of put the ball in harm's way in a way, but it wasn't necessarily because he was missing reads this poorly. Now he's just, again, these 3 interceptions were really, really bad. Just from a schematic, reading the defense point of view, you just can't win this way. And if McDaniel's finally reached that point with him saying, look, I've shielded you, I haven't talked bad about you, I haven't done anything like this, but I can't keep putting you out there. And if the team if there were players on the team that came back and said, we don't want this guy to play, to be behind us anymore, then it's done.
There you go. Evan, same question, man. I know where you stand on McDaniel and what you'd like to see happen, but from what you saw today, let's say McDaniel survives this week and continues the season. Everything we saw today, does that tell you, like you've been saying, man, they're handcuffed at the hip, and he did. McDaniel was the one who pushed Greer to finally get the deal done. He doesn't want people to remember that, but he was. Of course, now it's biting him in the ass. We see, it looks like they're divided. In your opinion, right now, at this time, McDaniel's at home with his family, in his head, is he done with Tua?
Nope. As long as Mike McDaniel is the head coach of this team, I said it on pregame. If the game is out of hand, they put in Ewers. I think he waited too long to put in Ewers. After the pick 6, I would have put in Ewers. Mike McDaniel's lost at the quarterback position, and like I told you, right now he's at home. But guarantee you, who he's on the phone with? His buddy Tua. There's too much of a bond there. There's too much of a connection there. He had an ability. I told you at the beginning of the year, they needed to break up, and someone had to do it for them because they are tied to the hip. They hold hands into the stadium. They hold on their hands on. I'm sure they sit together on the plane. I'm sure they tell each other bedtime stories. As long as Tua Tagovailoa is on this football team, he will be the starter until Mike McDaniel fired. Mike McDaniel, I think, will lose his job because he keeps on, not because he keeps on using Tua, but he will keep on using Tua. Tua will not sit on that bench. And let me just remind you, talk about regression. Joe Flacco was awful with the Browns. Oh, let's go to the Bengals and let's go face Pittsburgh, and I'm going to go throw 360. And when they kicked the winning field goal, he didn't even react. That's a veteran QB who's won a Super Bowl but hasn't been in and out long. And let me just repeat one thing about this whole thing. Do you know, because Greg, you like to say this to me all the time, 21 points in the NFL isn't a lot. Are you telling me the Browns will average 13.7 points a game? 13.7. Almost scored 2.5 times against the Dolphins. The Dolphins make every team look better than what they really are, and they couldn't even put up a touchdown today. But to answer your easy question, no. Tua will be the starting quarterback of this football team, whether they are 1-6, 1-10, 1-16, as long as Mike McDaniel is the head coach of this football team, because Mike McDaniel is too smart. To everybody, the common sense thing to do is to put in Quinn Ewers or maybe try Zach Wilson. See what you have. Unfortunately, Mike McDaniel isn't that smart. He's going to outsmart himself and keep on playing Tua.
Well, if you look at it, though, in a way, Cleveland only scored 17 points because Tua gave up 15, and basically that other pick basically got them down to the 2-yard line.
Well, but so Tua did score 14 points.
Yeah.
Tua did score 14 points.
So
it's bad. It's been so bad because like every time I look at it, it's like you look at last week, you look at this week against the Panthers. Was it 9 tries without a score and punts? Like it's the offense has been bad. No, it's not all Tua's fault, but he's done nothing to show that he's a franchise quarterback and an elite level quarterback. And you look around the NFL and you see all these teams, it looks like it's so much easier for them to run offense. Like it's so much easier for them to play. Like I don't know. It's just, to me, it's to the point where the run is done. There's no saving anything. And I agree with Greg saying that, like, if you want to save your job, if you're McDaniel, you start yours. And benching Tua was a step in holding your job for another week or so.
Sammy, as a self-proclaimed Tua-neer, Tua-non, and you brought it up earlier about where you stand now on him. Do you think, though, McDaniel's at that point? Is McDaniel done with Tua?
No, he's not done with Tua because basically what everyone said basically is completely 100% right. Having said that, since everyone likes to take so many victory laps, I'm the only one who said that the Dolphins Tua would not score a touchdown today. So let's be put on record. So I saw that coming today, but I don't think that. I think they're attached to the hip. I think Mike McDaniel is not gonna change who he is. He's not gonna go and. Okay, Quinn Ewers was the backup quarterback. We all know basically Tua hugs all the reps in practice. Basically, the only way that works is benching Tua, making the third quarterback to make sure he doesn't get hurt, and basically giving all the reps to Ewers. Because if not, that's not gonna work. They will have to find a way to take Tua completely out. Mike McDaniel is not gonna do that. So I think they're attached to the hip. I basically do believe that Mike McDaniel is willing to go down with the chip with Tua too. So I don't think that's going to happen, like Evan said.
Here's another way this could work. All right. There's an injury to Tua.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
His arm's hurting or something like that.
His hip. That was released 2 weeks ago, right? A week ago.
Well, even so, now you're going back to the front office because you said, or they said, oh, we checked his hip out really good. We're treating it like a knee injury. He's going to be just fine, this and that. And Tua has not been quite the same since college. Even I can say that, even though I still didn't want to draft him either way. But, like, you still draft him with that bad hip, that deteriorating hip. And every single player that has had hip issues, Mike Pouncey, Brandon Marshall, Bo Jackson, Everybody that's had a damaged hip has never been the same player again in any sport. I forgot which basketball player had bad hip and couldn't play anymore. So it's like a hip is not anything literally to play with, and it's not something long term. And I think if that's the excuse you're using, then you fire Greer right now because you paid him, and your medical staff needs to be evaluated to get fired. Well, especially after the whole national debacle a couple years ago, the concussions. But you need to evaluate your medical staff and how they're treating things, because if this is the same staff that evaluated Breeze and we didn't sign Breeze because of that medical staff, and if we traded for Culpepper instead, then those guys need to go anyway.
I just want to say very quick, we'll get Doll in here and with her thoughts in regards of is McDaniel done with Tua. But I want to shout out a lot of people in the comments, man. We everybody tuning in right now, wherever you're watching from. Over 300 people watching, 323 people. Whether you're watching on YouTube, on FTSN or FTSN Extra, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, we appreciate everyone tuning in. First off, shout out to the bearded fanatic in the house, Manny. Awesome to see him in there. Adrian of the Rainy Day Pod, Miss Fins, or should I say Miss Troll, trolling there saying, you guys aren't real Dolphin fans and Tua haters. Tua is QB1 and should continue to start. He's our franchise quarterback and deserves all of our support. I know she don't believe none of that. Craig, appreciate you, my man. Well, at least I have my Fighting Irish, and they have a real coach. The fans just are god horrible. I'm just frustrated with this whole organization. Daniel in the house. I saw his comment in there. I want to bring that up. I've told you people you can bench Tua tomorrow, and we will still be a terrible team. Do you actually think Ewers will turn the team around? Absolutely not. Nobody. I don't think anybody believes that, Daniel. I think you're right on that. But you can't be watching Tua and thinking he's the guy and he should stay in there. We got to see what we have in Quinn Ewers at this point. Bob Hope in there. Josh Wingate in the house. Josh Wingate was actually on Finn's TV Plus the other day.
It was great.
Yeah, man. I was so happy that he was able to get on there. They're talking about Chop Robinson and him being struggling this year. Joseph Bell, Chop is overrated. Mm-hmm. Bob says fire the head coach. Duke. Sealer was good for one season because of Campbell and Wilkins. So Josh is defending the defensive line, and they are not. Just a false bandicoot back in here. Caught you all this morning. The Browns fan that, yes, I remember. False. Appreciate you jumping back in here. I didn't know you guys were that bad. Thank you. We appreciate. At least we thank you for your sub. And we thank you for sticking with us, my man. I hope you enjoy the network. And please come back and have some fun with us. DSG, I see you, Ray Finkel. First, shout out to everybody watching right now. We appreciate you guys. Doll, the one and only Doll, man. If you want to see someone fired up, go check out Doll's Diaries. Because my goodness, she almost tore. She fucked somebody up yesterday. That was fun. I was like, yo. She's like, sorry, my bad. But she wasn't sorry. She just, I know her. Anyway.
I reposted and said, sorry, not sorry, Bobby.
I know. I saw that. I was like, oh, look at this. Do you think, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
Do you think McDaniel feels the same way? Is McDaniel done with Tua?
I don't really give a fuck what McDaniel is because I'm done with both of them. So they can go off troll in La La Land, Rainbow Land together, hold hands, and go throw high balls over the middle to middle schoolers for all I care because they're both done. Damn. So I really don't care. I don't think McDaniel's done because he doesn't have the balls to actually bench a player and follow through with it. Excuse me, Tua. Can we talk? I just I don't want to hurt your feelings, bro. But you really didn't play good. But can we do more screens to the left? Maybe try more to the right. Sorry, A-Chan, you almost got killed. Like, that's what he's going to do in the locker room.
That was spot on. Why is she on FTSN when she should be on Saturday Night Live? Because damn.
I love you,
I mean, holy crap. We have a new show here on FTSN. Check it out Wednesday nights. It's not Doll's Diaries on Tuesdays. We're going to have a sketch show with Doll as Mike McDaniel just doing a press conference. We can get it done. We'll do it. But damn. Okay. That's going on. That's going to be clipped. I'm sure she'll repost that.
I hope somebody does clip that for me because I'm going to go to bed after this. So somebody please clip that.
Man, okay, listen. And we should and we will. And I know Daniel is probably banging the drum on this, and because it's true, it's not just one guy, it's the whole damn thing from top to bottom. We know that. And you know, Dahl started the show with an interesting point about the defense. Like, hey, yeah, they're not great, but they had some moments. They made some stops, but the Dolphins gave the ball. The offense gave the ball right back. But I think she would be the first one to admit, I would, the Dolphins defense can't stop a nosebleed. I mean, again, week after week, they're giving these running backs open holes. Anthony Weaver, who, I know this is not what Evan says now, and I'll let Evan start this point. Anthony Weaver's a guy Evan had very high hopes for coming on this team. This is a head coach we have on this defense. This guy could be the next head coach, Bobby. I'm telling you, very high on him, and rightfully so. The whole league was high on him. And he does have talent on this roster. It's people, he's working with garbage. Not really. There's some good pieces in here. It's just not working out. And I mean, and you got to look at your coach. The players have to execute. But when you look at this defense, a lot of us was looking at this D line and saying, this is going to be money. We know what the secondary looks like, but and then you watch them and you're like, what is this? Who is this? The defense has been non-existent. Anthony Weaver supposedly is in the short list for the Titans coach. Okay, bye. That just tells me the Titans still don't understand what they're looking for, what they want. I mean, they got rid of Vrabel, who brought him, who had the stable organization, who had a strict disciplinarian. They didn't want to give him the reins, even though he was in the AFC Championship. I mean, he brought the best. And so they're going to jump to an Anthony Weaver or Joe Brady or whatever. It just boggles my mind. But okay. I've never seen a guy go from this all the way down here right away. Now, when you listen to his press conferences, you easily love the guy. You can easily go, damn, this is a guy. This is he sounds way better. And so does, I'm forgetting his name right now. The offensive line coach.
Barry.
Barry. Yes. I heard him the other day, right after I heard a McDaniel one, and Dalton, and that's why I was live, because it was right on. That's all. My son goes, he sounds very nervous. And again, I'm not trying to pick on the guy, but come on, it's right there. I am. And then you go to the Butch Barry, and you hear him, and I mean, to me, it sounds like a coach. I mean, I love listening to him talk. I think it's great. But Anthony Weaver, the job he's done this year on this defense, and I don't think it's a scapegoat. If he gets fired, it's not a scapegoat. He deserves to get fired. His defense is garbage. This team is garbage, but his defense is horrible. You talk about Tua regressing, the defense has regressed. Chop Robinson had a very good, decent year last year. He's non-existent this year. You can't find him. Bradley Chubb's the only player on that D-line doing his job. Zach Sealer. I'm not hating on Zach Sealer. I love Zach Sealer. But again, boneheaded play today, non-existent this season. The secondary, we know the secondary was going to struggle. We understand that. You still have Minka Fitzpatrick. But again, you look at this defense, they're like, how the hell did they regress like this? How could you not have some pride to have these guys step and get in their face and whatever? It's just not enough. So Evan, and you just carry on, brother, and you just tell me, Evan says Anthony Weaver may be scapegoated. I don't see it as scapegoated, because I do think he deserves that. If he does get fired, he gets fired. That's it. Whatever. I don't think he should be the first one fired. I think it should be McDaniel. And I do think Tua should be benched. 100%. We're 1-6.
Yeah.
And it's not a 1-6 we're going, hey man, maybe we win 9 straight, maybe we win 10 straight. No, we're done. This team is done. You lost to the Cleveland Browns, and this wasn't a game where you go, we could have won this. They're going to say it. So, well, if he would have had this, or they would have. No, you lost to the Cleveland Browns, not by 17-13, where maybe an excuse could be made, Evan, right? Or 17-14, where you couldn't tie the game, or 20-9. No, you lost 31-6. 0 touchdowns, 3 INTs, 4 turnovers. It's done. This team is done. The season is done. Should you bench Tua? Yes, you freaking should. Why? Because he can't play. He sucks.
He's
I'm
not
sorry. I'm sorry.
He does.
I don't see a guy. Look, this is that. Look, I'll tell you. I said it before. We know how good he can be. We know how bad he could be. I mean, today was bad, but we know how bad he could be.
Yeah.
But what we've seen from Tua the past few years, one moment. The moment we've seen Tua the past few years, this is regression.
Mhm.
And then you listen to him at press conference. That's not a franchise quarterback. That's a baby in a quarterback role.
Yep.
He shouldn't be starting. He's a bridge.
Mhm.
At best, he's a bridge. Other than that, he should be backing up your quarterback. Is Quinn Ewers going to fix your team? No, because it's bigger than one guy. But should we really reward Tua with starting? No. He's not a
You bench
franchise
everybody
guy. He's
else.
not a leader. You should strip him to be a captain. Every time he talks, he's throwing someone else under the bus. Whether it's true or not, have some freaking pride. Have some character, because you ain't showing it. So Anthony Weaver wouldn't be scapegoated. He shouldn't be the first one let go. If he is, I wouldn't be batting an eye. At least they're doing something.
Yeah.
But let's not pretend that this is a one guy thing. This team sucks. It's what it is. It's not that you can go, oh, we can come back out of this. It just needs 1-2 things. No. This needs to be wiped out. Drop the nuke. Hit the red button. Get the red telephone. Blow it up.
Yep.
It's over. It's done. Evan, do you think talk to me about this defense, man?
There's two brilliant people on this show who
Calm down.
taught me a lot. They taught me that when the quarterback stands and he gets up and he doesn't look at the 6 or 7 guys. He looks at the guys in the back. What did we do in the offseason? We did nothing with the secondary. We got Minka, but we had to trade out for Javon Holland. It all starts there. It doesn't start when people are saying, oh, we have this amazing front seven that's going to reduce the pressure. No. At least Greer, the one thing I will give Greer credit, he's an awful general manager, but at least he tried to get the best corners in the corner when he had Byron Jones. Because one of the reasons why Brian Flores' defense was so strong is he had Byron Jones and he had Xavier Howard. Why was Fangio, who I know we don't love, Courtney, why was he successful at different points in his defense? Because he had Jalen Ramsey and he had Xavier Howard. The way the defense is built, there's no captains there. There's no leaders. There's no dogs. That's the problem with the defense. As much as Anthony Weaver's bad as he's been, that's the biggest problem right now with the Miami Dolphins defense. There's no leader on that defense. Luckily, last year, Weaver's always had a Calais Campbell and he had a Jalen Ramsey to build up his defense. So I liked his because of his mentality of being a former player and the mentality that he looked like a head coach. He looked like a guy who I would want to fight the battle with. Mike McDaniel, I would ask him if I want fries with that. Or can I get my extended warranty on my laptop? That's what I see when I see Mike McDaniel. Because I wear my sunglasses at night. Okay, that's who he is. The defense is built wrong. As bad as it is, it doesn't have dogs. It doesn't have a dog on the secondary. It doesn't have a dog on the D-line. And it doesn't
Because all the dogs wanted to leave. They ran away.
Well,
exactly.
They
By the way, you want
And
to know
it's
why
not
they
an
wanted to
environment
leave?
for the dogs to thrive because
Yeah, but by
Jordan
the way,
Brooks is a
you
dog
know-
and he's not
You
thriving.
know why Jalen Ramsey said why he wanted to be traded? He didn't like Mike McDaniel. So he didn't leave for any other reason that he didn't trust Mike McDaniel. I guarantee Tron Armstead retired because he didn't want to be with Mike McDaniel anymore. Calais Campbell went to Arizona. We could have paid him a lot of money here. Nope. I want out of Mike McDaniel. All the veterans wanted out.
I
Tyreek
said
Hill,
that.
I want
I said
out.
that before the season, and I got ridiculed.
You think that Tyreek Hill would have said I'm out to Brian Flores or to Don Shula or to Bill Belichick or to Andy
Sammy
Reid?
Eating.
Really? Kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Sammy, what are you eating?
Anthony Weaver hurt himself. I feel bad for Anthony Weaver because as poor as he's been as a coach, he tied himself to the wrong horse, and that was Mike McDaniel. If I'm a guy,
I sent you a link, Miss Fins.
If I'm a coach, why would I want to work with Mike McDaniel? He's awful. There's like the only we think I'm Finn's faithful. Someone asked why the only person who could actually turn this team around right now because he actually proved he's done it before with less is Brian Flores. He took a 1-7 2020 team and turned it into a 9-8 team, which is pretty amazing.
Well,
Or 2021. It was 2021. I can't.
he shouldn't have won 5 games in 2019 either.
No, exactly.
He had
So-
no business winning that many games.
For me right now, if you want to get the problem for me right now is the reason why the perspective about changing up the team, the reason why I want McDaniel fired, Chris Greer is whatever. The reason why I want McDaniel fired and why I want new people, new blood in there, and in all serious note, is to assess the talent we still have on this field. Because you know Phillips is not going to be re-signed. You know you're going to trade away Chubb. Waddle's here, but Waddle's injury prone, but whatever. Achan, you need to give Achan some sense that there's some sense of changing of the guard, because if I'm him, I don't want to resign here. I don't want an extension here. You want the players who are actually the ones who you've developed that are young, who you might actually see a future with on this football team, to actually want to be here in the future. And why would they want to go down with the ship with Mike McDaniel? Right? Like because for example, let's say you're someone like Devon Achan, or you're someone like Chop Robinson who's not playing well. But if you're one of those young players, or Ollie Gordon, if they don't get the chance to show what they're really made out of in a really fair way, the new head coach who's going to come in isn't going to have tape to assess. Because if they do it the whole season now and leave Mike McDaniel in there, and Mike McDaniel continues to throw in Tua, and continue to do the same BS of putting out Tanner Connor and Julian Hill and all that kind of crap and all that nonsense, I bring up Hayden Rucci. Like, try everything and get a new coach in here and find out what you have, so when you go into the 2026 draft, you know what you have on your team as potential people that can help your team in the future. No, let's keep Mike McDaniel here till we're 1-10. No, Mike McDaniel's holding back the reevaluation for the 2026 season, because every week he stays here, he's going to keep his veterans in to try to save his job. He's not going to be able to save his job by putting in the young people. Bob, you know that from any sport. You want to try and win, you keep your best players in, because you're trying to save your job. If you fire Mike McDaniel, you can actually reassess.
Don't be cracking your knuckles back there. I see you back there, girl.
Did I say something funny? I actually gave a really important take, and you're laughing at me.
I wasn't laughing at you, I
laughing at
swear. I'm laughing at a dear friend who knows.
But just
She's
wanna
coming
say-
at me,
No, but
and that's
I
okay.
want people to react to this. I want on the panel, and then Miss Vince can react to this. But be
Before
serious.
the
Can you
defense,
respond to what I said?
Go ahead,
if
Brett.
you fire him now, you have a chance to assess what you have for 2026. If you leave
Yeah.
him in there, he's going to leave all his veterans in there. He's
Yeah.
going to leave everybody there. And
Are you
McDaniel-
talking about McDaniel?
Yes, McDaniel's
Okay,
going to
okay.
keep Tua. He's not going to want to trade Phillips. He ain't going to want to trade away Chubb. They're all going to want to protect themselves by trying to
Yeah.
return this around.
Girl.
well, we should trade Phillips so he gets something
But
before he walks. But
I agree.
what's up, Miss Fitz? Real quick
I'm
on the
just saying.
defense thing, though.
Hey guys.
The talent is struggling. The talent's not great at all. But the talent could be, the players could be used a hell of a lot better. Weaver's done a bad job of how he's used the talent. However, the thing about the defense is, and Greg and I said it, the defense was going to regress. It was going to be bad. And part of it is because they kept extending Tyreek and kicking a can. They paid Waddle, which they shouldn't have paid Waddle. They shouldn't have traded up for him in the first place. And then they shouldn't have paid Tua. But because they paid Tua and put all that money into Tua, people are, well, we don't have good offensive line. We don't have good tight ends. We don't have good defense. Well, all your money is sunk into Tyreek, Waddle, Tua, and then you have a couple pass rushers that you sunk your money into. You gave Phillips his 5th-year contract, which that was smart. I won't disagree with that. But, like, you paid Chubb, who's injury prone, and he's above average. He's a good, not elite player. But, like, you have no elite players on the defense whatsoever. None.
We should have kept Xavier Howard.
Yeah. Well, and then he just retired, which it felt like he got what he wanted out of Miami, played enough games to get his contract, and then pieced out. But the defense, notice our secondary has sucked, has progressively gotten worse
I wonder
Since-
why.
since Boyer left. Boyer,
Xavier Howard.
note all the secondary players that they found that they were coaching up that were good out of nowhere. Boyer. But he was scapegoated the first year, and then we get Fangio. Fangio said, screw this, I'm out, because the talent is not good on this roster. He was hated on for Cam Smith and all. Oh, Cam Smith sucks, got cut this year. So, like, this talent was not good, and Fangio called it out. He goes to Philly, all of a sudden with talent, all of a sudden he's calling good players, because players matters more than coaching. You can only scheme so much and hide players so much before they start getting exposed. Just look at Tua. All right, that's all. That's all I want to say about the defense.
Let's welcome Miss Finns. And if you, I'd be shocked if no one
Who's
knew
that?
who Miss Fins was. If you love Miami Dolphins content, if you love hot takes and some badass content, you got to go check out Miss Fins. Almost on daily in the mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, and it's sometimes on the evenings as well. And I just want to say before she comes at me and y'all think she hates me, she absolutely loves and adores me. I know that for a fact. That's my girl. All
She
right.
loves us.
Do you have
you
her
know-
head on your kitchen table? Because I have her head on my kitchen table right now.
What?
I don't know what the fuck. Damn. I don't know what that means.
She's
No.
on my backpack.
She's oh, you have a
Yeah,
sticker.
she gave
I got
out
a sticker. I got a sticker. I got one. I got one.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to get one. Miss
I
Finn,
just came
hit
home
me
with
up
my
later.
backpack full of Miss Finn
Ooh.
stickers. Yeah, there
There
it is.
you go.
All right,
I'm gonna
okay.
get one from you. I'm gonna
Hello?
put one on my
I got
toolbox
one. I
at
got
work.
one.
But how many people on this panel have actually paid for her dinner?
I
Okay.
didn't pay for
One
her dinner.
gentleman.
We went 50-50 because we're both the gentlemen here.
I took her and her mom
Oh,
out
I
for
like
dinner.
You guys are too much. I love all of you guys, man. Doll, nice to see you again. Oh my God, it's been so long. Bobby, my mom says hi. She
Hi,
keeps asking me, when are we gonna go back to Nashville? I'm like, Ma, they're working too, you know.
I meant to post that picture because I was waiting because so I'm going to post that picture up because Miss Fins did come to Nashville and visited. We had a great time. Her mom, her friend Todd. We went with the lunch and it was awesome. It was raining, but it was still a great time. So
Oh, that's great. They loved it. And my mom literally asked me all the time, I want to go to their house. I'm like, but you don't even know what. I can't. She wants to see the kids. She wants to spend more time with Tati. She wants to hang out with you guys. So she's literally asking me all the time.
Tati fools so many people. If they really knew how she was, you guys wouldn't trust me. But anyway, I digressed.
Yeah.
You're here for a reason, my dear. I mean, I would love to
am.
get your take on the Dolphins, but
Oh.
start with this first.
Mhm.
Because I would say very quick. Courtney came on, and said, the game was horrible, blah, 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 but said, that the defense did have some bright spots. They had some, stopping the Browns. Of course, they gave up 200 or whatever. So she did throw that out there. But what's your take? Because I think it's more about Anthony Weaver than it is about this defense, right?
No, actually, for me, more than anything else, when it comes to this defense, it's twofer, because Anthony Weaver, he's in his second year of implementing his defense, and we all know, or at least we should know, that he doesn't have all the pieces he's looking for. We knew starting off that this secondary was going to be very, very light, very skinny in production, which is why we were all excited when we made moves for the defensive line. One of the biggest shocker, I think, to anybody in the Dolphins community is the fact that this D line has been so bad at stopping the run. We went from literally being top 5 last year to now being dead last practically. And it's just like, man, we did better with our older players than we did with anybody new that we got. So right now, the biggest disappointment, I think, where people say, oh, the defense sucks, I think it's more of they're disappointed that that D line has not performed to what our expectations were prior to the season starting. So starting with that, I have to agree. The defense has played horrendous in that aspect. The front line has been horrible. But I will say this. I am not blaming our losses to the defense, although they are part of it. They're part of the team, because this is year 4 in our offense with the majority of our weapons. We spend the most amount of money in this offense. Our highest players are literally in our offense. So our emphasis is this offense. Our head coach is offensively led. So I'm expecting this to have already been, yes, okay, every offense, every team gets figured out, but you're supposed to make adjustments to those adjustments. That's the whole point of coaching. And right now, I'm just so disappointed in this offense because we cannot put up points. I don't care if this is a historically great defense, only stopping other teams to 10 points. We will still lose games because right now our offense is not able to put up points. Granted, some people are going to say, but Miss Vince, we're averaging 22 points. Well, now probably 21 points per game. Okay, that's fine. that should be enough. Should it be enough? No, because most teams right now are scoring more than 27 points, at least the ones that are really making a playoff push. And I'm not going to put the losses on the defense when you have so many issues with that offense. And it's not the offensive line that I'm going to throw that into as well. There's one person who should own 60% of that, and that's Tua Tagovailoa, period. And I'm trying to be nice by saying 60%. Because it should be a lot more than that. And right now, it is so disappointing to hear you, Bobby, say that this defense is the reason why we're losing. Sir. Because how come this past
I
game,
did no. Wait a second. I did not say the defense was the sole reason why we're losing, sister.
Right. No,
Come
I
on
didn't say
now.
score,
Come on
but
now.
you were pretty much hinting at it. Okay, sir? Because why is it
I'm
that
not
our
hinting at it. I'm not hitting. I'm saying they're a part of it.
I
Have you
defend
seen
them.
the last 3 weeks?
Bobby.
Say what?
Have this game punt after punt after punt, holding them to 3 points. Where has our offense actually put up points? No. What did they do? They punted. They set interceptions. They turnover on downs. What the heck else is the defense supposed to do? Even this crappy defense is still giving us opportunities and this offense to put up points. And this offense is so atrocious, starting with the leader. So no, I'm not gonna put this on the defense, Bobby, because the defense is giving us opportunities. And then last game, 5 straight drives with 0 points by the offense, where the defense literally got a pick, fumble recovery, punt. And our offense did absolutely nothing. And then we wonder why we lost.
To be fair, Tua did score a beautiful pick 6 with the Browns today. He threw a beautiful pass to that defender. So to say that he didn't get us points, he scored some beautiful touchdowns for us today. So I don't want to hear that. That was a beautifully thrown ball to the defense.
Right? Yeah. Man, I sort of got this offense. So no, Bobby, I will not take your premise of this defense. It's the reason why we're losing. Okay,
it's not the reason why we're losing. It's a part of the reason why we're losing. How many rushing touchdowns did Junkins have today?
Question: what wins?
Well, I asked you a question. I asked you a question. But I asked you a question. You can't ask the question when I ask you a question. How many touchdowns did he give up?
Oh, go ahead.
How many rushing touchdowns did he give? 3.
3 rushing touchdowns.
Okay, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let you go right ahead right after I'm done. Okay, how many rushing yards did what's this guy Vidal have last week with the Chargers? Have we ever heard of Vidal before the Chargers game? How many rushing yards did he have?
You mean Dotto?
Vidal.
Oh, Vidal.
124 yards. Now Dowdle. How about him?
Yes, I know he had way more.
Okay.
Than that.
Okay.
Vidal had like 5
206
yards where he got all those yards too.
Yes.
Judkins, we knew, right? Judkins, we know is a baller. He's young, whatever.
Well,
we know he could do, right? Hold on. Okay.
Bobby, go have your milk. Bobby, go have your milk.
Stop it. Don't bring up milk. Don't bring up milk. No, stop it.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Cállate la boca. Wait, listen. Hold on a second. You guys are getting me going.
Thirsty. Give him a minute.
Doll, I told you that in confidence. Like, don't you dare. No, you didn't know anything about it until I told you.
You recognized me in the post. What do you mean I didn't know anything
I know.
about
What
it?
the hell is this about? Every time I go out there, it's another tag for Doll. Like, I can't get away from anything. So all I'm saying is, no, they're not the sole reason, but they are a big part of this team being 1-6. This defense is terrible. This offense is terrible. This quarterback is terrible. This coach, it's not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator posing as a head coach. And Anthony Weaver, yes, we know what we talked about the secondary, but you know what? You had an awesome point to start it. A lot of it does have to do with our perception of what this D-line was going to be. We thought this D-line was going to eat. We thought this D-line was going to save the defense or make it look decent. It did not. Fair points. But let's slow down the roll, pretending like, all this defense has done enough. No, it hasn't. The last week, maybe today they had some spots, but the last weeks they didn't seem no favors. They didn't do Vidal. Who's the hell is Vidal? We know. Look, shout out Rico Dowdle's no joke. We know what he did with the Cowboys. I'm not going to disrespect or whatever, but still, 200 plus yards. You're not going to give him any little bit of grief. Not an ounce of grief.
Now can I go? Because
Oh,
my
you go
question
right
to you is, how is it yards that wins games or is it points that win games? Help me out with that. Is it yards or is it points? Because I could care less about how many yards are given up. You can give up 500 yards. If you're just allowing 20 points, that's fine by me.
How many points did
But
those
can
guys
our
get off those yards?
but can our
that's-
offense put up points to compete with them?
That doesn't negate the defense being trash.
How
throw
can
Can we
it
just
be
agree
trash
that the
when they're
Dolphins-
literally
Let's agree the Dolphins
League
don't play
average.
complementary football, and that
No, no, no.
includes the special
They don't.
teams that has been giving it up, and that is what you need to win a football game. You can fight about offense and defense all day. They have to be working in congruency with each other.
First of all, let me.
They do
go ahead.
not, and I will like to just go on the record again as just saying that if we had Xavier Howard, we would have a dog on our defense, and I'm going to leave it at that.
no?
And let me just correct very quick. Let me just correct because I said go back and watch because we do this live and it's recorded. I said Anthony Weaver because Evan said Anthony Weaver could be scapegoated, and I said he could be scapegoated, but I wouldn't call it a scapegoat. I don't think he should be fired first. I didn't say he was going to get fired first or should be fired first. Go back and look at what we got recording here, Duke, because I did not call for him to be fired first.
Not Bobby asking.
I just said the defense is trash.
Yeah,
Which
the
it is.
defense is trash. They're giving up points. Okay, when are we gonna actually put the onus on the part that we've had the emphasis for the last 4 years, Bobby? When are we gonna do that? Because I'm still seeing an offense that is not putting up points. While you watch the defense be out there for 35 minutes, 40 minutes, what the heck else are you supposed to expect this defense to do? How many extra plays are they supposed to give you for your offense not to put up points? At least 3 flipping points. And they don't even do that. What are we doing?
Well, to your point on that one, so the only game that was a double-digit loss, I'm not going to count Buffalo because that happened at the end. That game was within reach, right? So the only game, the Dolphins are giving up a lot of points, but like the only game that was double-digit losses was what against? We'll count. All right, say the Bills, the Browns, and the Colts. Like every game was within reach. Every game was within 1 point. So and you look at the turnovers added in those games. Against the Patriots, lost by 6. There was turnovers. Against the Browns, you had 3 turnovers that led to points. For the single games against the Chargers, it was a 10-point turn. They lost by last-minute field goal. So the offense, a lot of what's happening, we have a bad defense, and then the offense doesn't help that bad defense at all. And Greg and I have talked about this on the pod with OT with Evan. We've talked about this where a good offense will make a defense better by sustaining drives, by scoring points, by answering. Everybody was the defense sucked against the Titans. And Bobby, I know you don't agree with that one, but against the Titans a couple years ago when we gave up the lead, everybody's, the defense is bad. The offense had plenty of times to answer, and they never did. And when people say the defense is bad last week, or 2 weeks ago against the Panthers, they blew a lead, and that's awful defensive play. They played awful, and I will not disagree with that at all. But the offense had 9 times where they punted or didn't score. And it's like you had 9 drives where you couldn't even answer. Like that's the frustrating. So it's like it just shows you like we have a complete chaos. And to me, to your point, Bobby, that the defense is poorly coached because there is some talent on this defense enough to be better than they are. It's like they quit, and that's what I was saying last week. The defense they're not trying. Brooks is not playing anywhere near as hard as he played last year. He just looks like I can't blame him for quitting because he has a career to finish and he's just throwing his body away for nothing. So, and then you see other things that I noticed. Willie Gay, why is he ever on the field? Why is Judon never on the field? Why is Britt never on the field? Dotson's an awful linebacker, like as far as like against the run. And then you're going to give like Britt in there. Like Britt had a good game last week, and then you're going to get rid of I just don't understand it. But these guys they're not playing together whatsoever. And to Weaver's to give Weaver some credit, he did get the defense playing a little bit better, but the defense it's overall just the whole team is just playing bad. And I like everybody's saying that the whole team is just not complimentary. It's awful, and it's misconjointed.
I don't
let's-
think the defense is the only unit that plays with passion. I think our defense is the only unit that looks like a unit. They
Yeah.
are fired up. They're out there. The offense looks stagnant and like they don't speak to each other. But the defense looks like they actually they're the only unit that looks like they care. Like I see them get frustrated. I see them celebrating a good play. I see them communicating with each other. It's the offense that looks like they just met outside the parking lot and were thrown together and it's their first day of school
Facts.
every single game. That's like they're not playing well. I agree with that, but I do think that they're the only unit that does look like it has passion and that they are like a unit.
To throw something else out there with the defense real quick, it's after turnovers, their energy drops. I've noticed that. I've noticed that every time there's a turnover and the defense comes on the field, they're just kind of like, here we go again.
Well, they're tired.
Now we got to play with our backs
and they're
against the
probably
wall.
annoyed as fuck. I'd be so annoyed if I go out there, do my job, get you a punt.
Why?
With the pick first play. I'd be annoyed as hell.
Yep.
Why would you be happy about that?
I would be
That's
annoyed.
not rewarding.
I'm just saying,
You're
like
off-
they're gassed. Like that's why I'm saying where they're tired of the offense being the baby, and then they're just kind of like
really.
So that's why
you're saying offense is the problem.
So wait. That the offense is not putting up points.
I said that.
Turning the ball over.
They'd be happy if the offense drove downfield and got
what a concept.
That's what I said earlier. That's why I said that a good offense helps the defense. It makes
your
life
offense is supposed to get in that
breaking news.
Tua doesn't know it, but you can throw the ball to tight windows, and you can throw the ball not laterally.
Oh God,
and,
don't.
I
want to get some. I want to get hold on because I know he's working at the same time while he's doing this, and but he's been real quiet. I do want to get his 2 cents on this, Sammy. I know got a big show this week coming up. I know he has a lot to talk about this week, and I know what he's doing. So, but I do want to get. I mean, you're hearing everything. What are your thoughts? I mean, we've talked a lot about the offense, and I'm going to get Miss Finn's take on Tua and all that mess. And you want to see more of Miss Finn's, you'll see her tomorrow on Miss Finn's at 8 a.m. Eastern time. But Sammy, your thoughts on this discussion in regards of the defense and Coach Weaver, and we know what our expectations were on this defense, but we've seen what they've been doing this year. What is your thoughts on this whole debate we're having?
You could have a whole program just to talk about the defense for sure, because the problem is from the beginning of the season, you can see the defense is undermanned, but playing hard, playing through the whistle, they look better in preseason. They look better at the beginning of the season, but at least they look more prepared, less penalties, and so on, whatever. The problem is that they're undermanned. The 2-minute defense is, the Dolphins basically have lost a couple of games just because they cannot play prevent defense well, and we lost at the last whistle. But they can probably tired. They're undermanned, so it's not an excuse. But I like the fact that I see a motivated defense. I see a defense that plays hard, that looks cohesive, that look prepared. Compared to the offense, at no point during the season the Dolphins offense has even one game we can say they look ready, they look prepared, they don't look like a mess, even with that Rick Hill was there. So it's complicated because if the Dolphins defense would have played clutch defense, the Dolphins would not be 1-5 or 1-6, and probably not 1-7. But I'm not going to blame it on the defense because I think the defense is playing hard. I think they do it the best they can, but it's complicated because right now I saw Adrian say it, but it's not true. They're not shooters. They're just Cheetos, Gabriel. But they're playing hard. But the offense for me is basically the problem because from the beginning of the season, even when he was there, they were not cohesive. Tua has never looked at the quarterback who was. And like I said before, Ms. Fins was here. I think even Greg was here. Tua's back to factory reset because, he's not the quarterback that he was. He regressed so much, Ms. Fins, that I said before that he's going back to basically before Brian Flores was pounding on him as a quarterback because
but
right now
Tua looks regress, or are people finally open up their eyes to who he really has been?
That's a completely different show. That's a completely different show.
Next on.
Post game. Unsolved mysteries. That was probably being stuck.
One thing about the defense, though. All right.
Yes, Greg.
You can say they're playing hard, but up until today, I would say they haven't been playing very smart because their gap discipline on the run game has been atrocious.
Oh, no, the run game's awful. Yes.
And And with the exception of one run today, they basically filled the run gaps very well. All right. So the defense hasn't been good. The offense hasn't been good. But like Miss Finn says, the money's on the offense. All right. That's the squad that you want to win games and dominate games. If you were expecting this defense to carry you, yeah, it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. All right. Now, the defense is playing worse than what I thought they would. I figured they would be more disciplined, but come on. The offense has got to do more than what it has been. It can't be going 3 and out and, punting and, turning the ball over like they have been. No defense is going to thrive in that.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I have to
Great
go to
point.
Good night. Thank you, Courtney.
I love all of you, but I have an early train tomorrow. So
Yeah, I got an early
See you,
day tomorrow
doll.
too. So
okay, love you. Finn's sadly up. It's just a little broken, and hate the you too. All right, good night.
Bye.
I'm out as well.
Later,
Good
dog.
night, everybody.
All right.
It was
Bye,
fun.
Greg.
I love you all. This was great.
Greg.
Nice
This
to meet you,
is-
Greg.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Greg.
All right, we'll talk this week.
All right, bye, everybody.
Greg, I'll talk to you later.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Later,
What about
Greg.
me?
Later,
Well, you're
friends.
still here.
Thank you for me.
Man, oh man. Man, oh man. All right. That was fun. All fair points. Great points for Miss Finn to start it off. And Greg to wrap it up there. So I know you're going to cover this a lot tomorrow. And you just let me know, hey, Bobby, I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I don't think you will, but you never know. But, we're looking at his picture here. First off, before we get into Tua, I just have to ask you this. Does McDaniel survive this?
What do you
Miss
mean?
Fans.
Like, is he gonna get fired
That-
like tomorrow?
Yeah,
or-
is this game? Yeah. Does he survive this mess in Cleveland today?
Absolutely. Mike McDaniel will be our head coach till the end of the season. I mean, I've said this for the last couple of weeks. I just wouldn't make sense. Who are you going to promote to come in? It makes absolutely no sense. You don't have anybody. There's nobody in the vicinity that you could even think of replacing him. You're going down with the ship. This is a Titanic, and he will be going down with the ship. Period. There's no point for us to what do you call it? To fire him when there's no replacement. So you might as well just stick it out and see what he can do. But then afterwards, yes, he'll get fired.
And we discussed, it's obvious when you're looking at. I mean, today this is the first time I actually saw some sort of real emotion, angry emotion from McDaniel, which was after that interception where Tua was kind of backing up in the end zone and just threw it. And I mean, I understand pressure in his face, just a boneheaded play, dude. It was just bad. But it was the first time I ever saw McDaniel give any kind of negative reaction, which was also kind of comforting, going, damn, okay, you have that in you. But, he said, get out of here. And then, you're hearing the comments off the field. You've seen it the last few weeks. Do you think, is McDaniel done with Tua? Like, do you see that? That relationship, is it done?
Well, I definitely love seeing what I saw on the sideline, but what we have to understand is that McDaniel is a super chill guy. So he's not ever going to really show you. I mean, unless it's like a super cool play, then, yeah, whatever. But for the most part, he tries to stay as even keel as possible. I've never seen him get upset like that because I just don't think it's like in him to really express that. I also want to point this out. I think he's the type where he holds it in so much that it looks like he's drinking, but he's not. His head is red. He looks like he's about to cry because he's really that frustrated. But he doesn't want to go ahead and not make it known, but really just express that in a way that would be even more detrimental. So for me, I think he's always had that. It's just now it's more like that's the one that broke the camel's back. It's like no matter what play I'm calling, you can't deliver. And I have literally done everything I could to get you all the plays that you can make, get you the weapons that we knew that we could help you. And even with all of that, I try to make it as simple as possible for you, even though it's complex, yes, but really is That's it. That's all. Just motion. Um, and even then, he still cannot execute to the extent that Mike McDaniel is putting him in. Mike McDaniel, once he does get released, he will be hired instantly as an OC, which is the position we wanted him the year prior to Flores being fired. But unfortunately, the 49ers blocked it, and that's why we couldn't get him. If we were to really take a look at this, I don't even know what type of coach McDaniel really is, because he's been hindered by the severe lack of quarterback play from his quarterback. And at this point, what more can he do to put Tua in a better spot? I mean, we're literally trying everything out there, and a lot of people say, "Oh, you're the offense is figured out." Every offense is figured out, but you're supposed to make adjustments. One thing that I've noticed is in our third quarter, what adjustments? We score 0 points, we lose the game almost every single time. I think the stat that I saw is like we were 2-17 in the third quarter when we don't score in the third quarter that we've actually won. And I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. Because right now we're not making adjustments when you have that whole halftime to be able to make those adjustments. And my thing is that is a failed coaching, yes, but that's also on the players, and specifically the captain who holds the ball 100% of the time, Tua Tagovailoa. And he's not taking over the team. He's not he's not executing. He is showing you what he has always been. The difference is now teams are even more caught up to Tua's style of play, where no matter what McDaniel puts out there, he's not going to be able to execute properly because he's stuck on his, I forgot who said it, reset mode, or I think Sammy, you said it earlier.
Factory
Yeah,
setting.
it's like, seriously, like he really is. It's just like, you know what? And then think about it. If you hear Tua in these press conferences, he's already checked out. A.
Yeah. Yep.
And you can tell he wants to do good, but it's like whatever, because everybody hates me now, and what am I gonna do about it? So he truly meant what he said, whether 5 picks or 5 TDs, I still get to go home and see my family. He meant that. So I could understand why McDaniel's like, it's I need to do something, because once I'm fired, I gotta show other teams that I can pull triggers that need to be pulled, like benching Tua, like putting in my young rookie to see what we got and making it happen. So that to me, yeah, I think McDaniel has already exhausted everything he could with Tua. He's not going through the motion. I think he really is trying to win these games, but when you're handcuffed with this quarterback, there's nothing that you can expect McDaniel to do but to sabotage Tua and to bench him, because that's why everybody said, because he's such a horrible person, Mike McDaniel. That's exactly what they said. They said other words about Flores. What a scumbag! He's sabotaging Tua for benching him. Who's getting the last laugh, ladies and gentlemen?
There it is. I was waiting for that.
Well,
You knew I
there
had to
is
say
more.
I knew it.
The Flores thing, it's like so convoluted too, because it's like, yeah, there's issues that he had that I get why he was fired, but at the same time, he was right about other things. It was right about Tua and didn't want Tua, and like, so there's a lot of stuff he was right about. But that goes back to, real quick on that topic. That goes right back to the whole thing with Ross giving the wrong people power and they getting in the way. Back in 2018, Chris Greer was still the GM, and I'm telling you, Chris Greer's been behind the scenes on this. But like, he went in as like, why aren't we drafting Lamar Jackson? Why don't we trade up for Lamar? Or, why don't we go after one of these quarterbacks? We didn't get Baker. Like, oh no, the only quarterbacks we would want is Baker or Josh Allen. And Gase said that he wanted Baker, and I forgot, one of them wanted Josh Allen, which I want to say it was crap. Help me out with his name. I'm drawing a blank.
Adam Gase.
No. It was before.
Was it
My God.
on his team?
He was our GM/VP that Greer kicked out away.
Garfinkel.
No.
No. Are you not
you-
Ireland?
Tannenbaum.
Tannenbaum, Mike
Yeah.
Tannenbaum. Okay.
Sorry, Tannenbaum wanted Josh Allen because he's an old school guy. He wants a big arm, athletic quarterback. So he wanted Josh Allen. However, Greer pushed back on it. He didn't want Josh Allen. Greer was like, no, we're good. Greer was like, no, I could agree. He went with Minka because his Alabama ties. Because Greer only drafts Power 5 schools and players, and people think, oh, that's a good recipe. No, it's not, because you're overlooking some good talent because of that. And Minka's a good player, but Derwin James is better. Vita Vea was better, and then quarterback was a better option. But Greer or Ross could have said, hey, no, this is who you're taking, and he didn't. And then like he's wanted to upgrade to it. He wanted Brady, he wanted Watson, he wanted Sean Payton. And I was just having a discussion on Twitter about it. Like, Flores did kind of screw us on that one after he got fired, like, oh, but at the same time, he's not wrong for reporting it, because wrong is wrong. But like,
She was with you until that part right
He
there.
didn't
She was with
report it.
you.
Oh, and yeah, I was with you too. You said that he didn't report it. It was Tom Brady who reported it, not him.
No, Tom Brady reported the tampering with Brady. But it was Flores that reported on they wanted after Sean Payton. It was a tampering on that. And that's why the Dolphins lost picks. But it is what it is. Like, it's what Ross, remember the whole scandal back when Ross was flirting with Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, Tony Sproul.
And all that. And then it come to find out, he wasn't trying to get Jim Harbaugh to Miami at the time. He was trying to get him back to Michigan. But there wasn't, like, the information wasn't out there. He wasn't just trying to bring him to Miami. He was actually trying to get him to Michigan, but no one knew that. And all they saw was him talking to Jim Harbaugh, and it looked completely trash. And then he fires Sperano. So it's just like, and then you have Mike Wallace calling out the Dolphins, calling them toxic when Tannehill was succeeding with Tennessee, which, again, that was with a really good roster that wasn't built to last. So before anybody tries to say, see, built to a roster. But, like, that's the thing. Like, until this team is so misjointed, and it starts at the top with Ross, and I still have doubt that no matter what we do, firing Greer down, that Ross will make the wrong decision again and again and again. And that scares me. That's what I worry about.
Except the Flores part. Everything else, yes. Everything else, yes.
But Flores was right about Tua. He was right about
a lot of things.
Greer's roster construction and his philosophies. He was
I
right
want
about
to quickly run through, because we're almost at 2 hours, and I know we got things to do. I got things, but I want to quickly go through, and I'll start with Evan and Sammy, Miss Finns, and then Brett, and we'll wrap this up. But let's McDaniel, Reaver, Greer, whatever. Everyone's still here after tomorrow. Everyone's still here until next week. You have to make a decision for your quarterback. Do you start Tua next week, Evan?
Yes.
You as the coach. I'm asking you, if you were the coach, you're going to start Tua next week.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Explain?
Why? Yeah, why?
If I'm the head coach?
Yes.
New head coach or current head coach?
Jesus. Is it hard? Was it hard?
Yeah,
you are
Tua gives me the best.
You're Mick Fitzstanza. You're Mick Fitzstanza.
Don't insult
What are
me,
you doing?
He gives me the best chance to win football games in my mind. He in my mind gives me the best chance to win football games, and I am concerned that if I don't put him in the game, he won't come over for our sleepovers.
I knew it. Here it was. All right, Sammy. If you're the coach, do you start Tua next week?
Next week, yes, I'll still will start Tua.
Okay.
It would take a lot for Queen Ewers or even Zach Wilson to start. They would have to take it the whole week. We'll play the Falcons this week, and it is what it is. I will play, but the rope is getting shorter because every single week, another game like this, 2 consecutive weeks like this, it will be too much for Tua. So Tua would need a huge bounce back game. I'm not saying 350 and 4 touchdowns, but he needs a respectable game to at least to go back to the medium of what's expected of him. But I will start it next week for sure.
Miss Finns?
Oh yeah, you're going down with the ship.
Exactly.
This is your mess. Get yourself out of it. At the end of the day, you wanted to say, "Hey, we gotta go back to 2021. It's the whole So, okay, then it starts with you. Buck up, bucko. So you're gonna have to start this game, period. And you're not getting benched no matter what. I understand people are saying, "Oh, but we're not that good." But I will. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate real quick, guys. What if the Dolphins are trying to tank without being obvious, so we don't lose a first round pick? Huh? I'm just saying.
Can't
And
put
if
it past
that's the
anybody.
case, I'm with you.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah, you can't put it past them. I
No.
will agree with
But
that.
yeah, but then how would, let's see how that works. They're trying to tank, but then that means you're letting Greer and McDaniel stick around. Like, you think Greer's not going to make trading, you're not going to trade away any players that actually allow that to happen unless he has it in writing from Ross that he's not being fired.
I
So
already told you this
No,
already.
see,
He's
I
not getting
said this
fired.
earlier.
He's getting promoted,
No,
Yeah.
it,
and he's
I
no,
just
not
was-
being
yeah.
promoted. He's getting shifted aside, lateral position.
Listen, I'm going to say this. I said this earlier because I know a lot of people say that. Oh, well, if he's at the Oklahoma, South Carolina game, this must mean he's coming back. All that. I'm not holding my breath about Greer getting fired because it's Ross. However, do your job until you don't have that job anymore.
Mm-hmm.
At least he's at the damn game. He's looking at other quarterbacks. Okay. And I don't ever see Evan. If I told you, or Miss Fins, you're the GM, and I tell you, if you have any inkling, I don't have to give you in writing. You're not fired. You're my GM. If you had any inkling that I'm going to fire you, why would you do your job? At that point, just let me leave. If you're going to fire me at the end of the season, I'm going to leave. So Greer still has a job. Let Greer go do his job. If he has to trade away pieces, let him trade away the damn pieces. He's still the GM. Nobody's going to handcuff a guy, So, but go ahead, Brett. I know you haven't answered yet. Next week, Brett. Are you? No. Are you starting Quinn Ewers, or are you going with you sticking with Tua for now?
Probably going to start Quinn Ewers because I think after last week, I think the team has lost respect for Tua. There was a couple hospital balls that were thrown. Looked like some of the players quit, and I think I'm going to start some young guys, and I'm going to show that I'm trying to make a difference. And it looks like there's some issues with my quarterback, some issues with everything else. So I'm going to start Quinn Ewers, and I'm going to show, hey, listen, I can open my offense up a little bit. He's got more of a live arm with a wicked game plan and design around him. I can implement the plays I want to, and I can open up the offense a little bit with him because of the arm talent versus Tua's. And I think that I think it'll help Waddle. I think it'll help even Tanner Connor, who had a sneaky good game. Honestly, was finding some holes in the defense. But I'm also going to give Ollie Gordon more touches too, because I am going to go to a little bit more of a run game. I'm actually going to not give him an obvious up the gut, you know what I mean? In the A gap runs constantly where it's obvious. I'm actually going to have him and H on the field at the same time, and I'm going to give Ollie Gordon a chance to run, and I'm going to use Julian Hill more as a lead blocker because he is one nasty SOB when he blocks, and I'm going to adjust my offense, and I'm going to get away from this. Oh, my offense is designed around Tua, and I'm going to start just unhandicap my offense, and I'm going to open it up for Quinn Ewers. And I think Quinn Ewers could do a little bit more like what they had in San Francisco, what he was used to there. So, and a little bit with Matt Ryan in, not saying that level, but a little bit more what Matt Ryan and them did with Atlanta. So that's just what I would do with him. And that would show that I'm trying to save face. And at least going forward, I'm probably going to lose my job. But the rest of the NFL will say, hey, you saw an issue with Tua. You benched him. Even though you're the one back for him, you basically told the national media, hey, I screwed up. I'm going to try to save it. And I'm going to bust my ass and fix what I can. And at least have some respect on it. Because sticking with Tua at this point is just like, dude, you're showing you're stubborn and not going to change. But if you go with Ewers, you're like, you know what? I wanted this kid. He fits the system. I'm going to stick it out with him. I'm going to see what he has. And if it's not good, we'll go back to the veteran. But right now, I'm going to try to install some type of energy into my offense.
Brett, I got to ask you this question. Sorry, Bobby, real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you keeping Tua next year as your QB1?
Nope, I'm trading him.
That's the one thing I will say. That's a great question, because I was going to say very quick that once you make this decision, there's no real turning back at that point. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be able to get rid of him because his contract doesn't allow it really. You're going to have to take a big hit. But once you make this decision that you're going to sit him, there's no restructuring of that relationship. You can't rebuild it. at that point, you really have. There's no turning back. He is who you have, and you got to figure out how to manage him and let him sit. I will say, I think from what I got from McDaniel at the end there with his comments, I think that's maybe where he may be leaning. And Evan bringing up Anthony Weaver being a scapegoat. Maybe tomorrow, will McDaniel get fired tomorrow? I think the scapegoat, and it's not really a scapegoat because, again, like I said, none of them really are because they all haven't been doing their job really good enough. I think the scapegoat might be Tua, where it's like, hey, we're going to bench Tua, and it's like, oh, does this give life to the offense? Does this give life to the team? Do we see what we have in the young quarterback? If it's me, because I think I'm saying what I think McDaniel will do, and I think he's more in Brett's thinking, at least from what I'm seeing. If it's me, I'd start Tua again next week with being like, this is the final straw. And then, if he again puts up a dud like he did today, then you pull him. And then you're like, no, we're 1-7. We got to roll with this young guy because what's the point? You could put Quinn, you could put Tua in there, you could put Zach Wilson, man. You could put your mother, you could put whatever. The Dolphins are still going to lose. It don't freaking matter. So because I understand Daniel's point. Oh, we put Quinn Ewers. You think this team's going to turn? No, I don't think it's going to turn around. This team is still going to lose games, but we have to see what we have in the young guy. I'm just saying right now, I would let Tua start next week, and then if he again is a dud, or if he pisses you off before that game, then bench his ass. But right now, I'm sorry, but I think McDaniel is more in your line of thinking, Brett. But anywho, we are at the end here. We will wrap this one up. We had a lot to talk about. First of all, what an awesome panel. Shout out to everybody. First off, Greg and Dahl, who were here with us. Sammy, who I know is working, he's like 24/7, whether it's work itself or his channel or here. Appreciate him. Finstanza, Miss Finn's making a surprise appearance because she was pissed at me, but I know she loves me. You got Brett here showing, really cool. I already got a couple messages. I got a couple messages. People saying we got to do a show. I was like, okay, I got you. People that I haven't talked to also. That's really cool. Hey, at least we have each other, right? Sammy said that the other day. At least we have each other,
right?
So just we'll wrap this one up. We'll start with Sammy. Sammy, my brother, final thoughts, and where can everybody find you?
Gonna have the muted because I've been so long during the day that my earbuds died. But Fins TV on Tuesday. We're gonna go back about how is the end of the line basically for Mike McDaniel too. There's no turning back. The point of no return is here for the Dolphins. I just want to say because I had this here. If the Dolphins cut Tua before June 1st, they get a 79.2 cap hit. After June 1st next year, they have 62 million. So, and you still have to do it with Tyreek Hill. So think about that before, taking any decisions on Tua because it's going to get rough either way. So we're going to be on Fins TV on Tuesday, on Fins TV Plus this Thursday on FTSM.
There you go. Miss Fins, we'll give your final thoughts on today, but also what do you have in store on the Miss Fins channel on YouTube this week?
Dude, I am literally, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Bobby, Finstanza, Sammy, Brett.
I will say she openly told me, she's like, Bobby, I'm coming at you. I need the link. And I didn't chicken out. I said, I dropped the link right there because that's my girl. It's cool. That's family, man. Let's go. We can debate all day. But go ahead.
Absolutely. No, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate all you guys. It's been a great, fun panel. And I love how we all sometimes we agree, but we also disagree. And that's a great thing about making a great panel is when you're able to still disagree, be respectful, and still have fun with it. You know what I mean? That's 100%. Why I love this. And that's why I love Fist Talk Sports Network. So I need all of you guys to come over here to YouTube, like, subscribe, donate to the channel, do whatever you got to do to support these guys because they're doing nothing but the Lord's work if you're a Dolphins fan, okay? So please support them. Thank you. You can find me, like Bobby said, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern. I literally just set up my show for tomorrow. I'm setting up the whole week right now. Tomorrow, actually, I'm going to give you my titles. The first one
I love it. Monday, Tuesday, bench him.
Because I'm like, at this point, I'm so fed up because what else can we stand as fans? Because we don't deserve this, man. We really don't deserve this. We put up too much time, too much money, and it's like we just keep getting hammered by this team, and it's just super frustrating. So yeah, tomorrow the Dolphins super bums, and that's exact. I mean, I didn't actually read it like that, but I was close to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Tua, yeah, we can't. On Tuesday, I'm gonna break down Tua for sure because I think that's the one most people want to hear, you know. But
Mhm.
tomorrow I'm gonna break down the game like normally do. Motivation Monday. There's still stuff for us to learn. So I'm gonna give you my recap tomorrow. We, as in the Dolphins, and Tua are trash. And then on Tuesday, I'm gonna talk about how Tua's not living up to his top 5 draft pick, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna have to break that down
right.
because he is officially in the bust column. And I think that most people would agree because of
Mm.
where he was drafted. More than anything else is
Yeah.
where Tua was drafted. You cannot tell me he's not a bust. If he was a third rounder, no one would care. But he is a top 5 pick. He's a bust. And then on Wednesday, when I do my AFC East show, Patriots are on top. Jets and Dolphins are still trash. So we got a lot of awesome shows coming up, guys. I appreciate y'all coming through. Check out Wednesday Night League Wide Wednesday with myself and color commentary. And yeah, you know what? I was really hoping Shador played this game and like blew us out because then I would have been like, we picked Jordan Phillips and we could have had this kid as our backup.
You were waiting for it. I know.
Unreal, man. But thank you guys for having me again. And
always.
go
Oh,
Dolphins. I still love you guys.
always. Brett, final thoughts, my man.
Honestly, I think I'm hoping the long-awaited changes are going to be made, but we know not to get our hopes up with that. So we'll see what happens. At this point, it's pretty much run its course with all the we all know that the rebuild was a failure. That everything was just we wasted the last few years, and it's a long, painstaking situation going to happen. And at this point, I just hope they make changes and kind of rip the Band-Aid off sooner than later. But I mean, we still have 11 games left to go, or 10 games left to go. It's long. It's going to be a long season, and the hard part of our season is coming up. So we'll see. And at this point, we're already losing. We're already struggling. That just trade everybody off. Start trading players. Start trading Phillips, Chubb. Trade Phillips before we get nothing for him, and he walks in. They pay him. At least get a pick. I feel like you can get a day 2 pick pretty easy for Phillips. I think he's a good player, not an elite player. I think it's another swing and a miss. Again, that's another thing that's kind of bit us in the ass. All the whiffs in the draft, nowhere near any elite players. So it sucks as a fan because like you watch it and it's we laugh we laugh at the trauma about it, but we make jokes and we have fun, especially with this panel. It's such a blast. Like Miss Finn says, we're like a family with this, and at the same time, we all just like know the pain and the heartbreak, and hopefully one day it'll be our turn. My hope is that we have like a Commander style like turnaround, and even though Commander's struggling this year, they have a bright future, and we see that. So we'll see what happens from here on.
There you go.
And
Evan?
yes, I do trade too at the end of the season.
Okay.
Nah, man.
Evan?
He's going down with the ship.
No one's going to want to. They're going to give him the Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson treatment, one or the other.
Oh,
Ugh.
Final words. Everything I said this morning about Tua and McDaniel continues to be true. It's more now than it was before. The status quo that Stephen Ross keeps on referring to will not be accepted. He really is a liar because, for me, you know how bad this team is. You know how foundationally it is. You have to blow it up like you would one of your real estate buildings when you start building a new foundation. And until you do that and assess what you have left from the rubble, you're going nowhere. So all he's doing is delaying the inevitable. Because it doesn't matter how bad the Dolphins do, the Jets are going to be worse. So it doesn't matter because the Jets are always going to screw up, or always going to screw the Dolphins, whether it's in a playoff spot or in a first round or the first pick in the draft. So just do what you got to do. I'd like to wake up tomorrow and just have a breaking news show. Honestly, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Just fire Mike McDaniel. Just do us all a favor. Okay. I don't care. He should have been fired when he came out in the rain wearing sunglasses. Okay. Who wears sunglasses in the rain? Okay?
Yeah, I
You
heard
already
you say
have-
that earlier.
You cannot see already when you have your glasses and you're not wearing a hat. People wear hats who wear glasses so their glasses don't get wet. He doesn't wear a hat, and then he wears sunglasses, so he can't see even more. And the fumbling of his papers today, like he literally got. I just wanted him to rip them up. That's what I would have respect for him if he would have ripped them up and go like this. I give up. I give up. No. So my final word is Sammy's probably right, and Dahl's probably right that we're gonna have, and so is Miss Finn, that we're gonna have to suffer through this entire year. But like that just shows he really doesn't care. Like honestly, if they were coming home today, if they were coming home against Atlanta, that stadium would be empty. The fact that there's gonna be fans who are traveling to Atlanta because it's not far from
Oh,
them.
yeah, I
Bobby,
know them.
Bobby, you were even
A
thinking
ton
of
of
going.
them.
The amount of money they spend. It's because Bijan Robinson, I have him in my fantasy pool. I am so excited because the man's going to go for 300. It doesn't matter who's there. But I'm telling you, if they fired, I'll put you this way. I will predict a Dolphins victory in Atlanta if they fire McDaniel tomorrow. As long as Mike McDaniel's the head coach, they're not winning another game. They're not going to win a game till the bye. It's just not going to happen. They don't have a chance. Lamar will probably be back. You have to face Josh Allen. You have to face Jaden Daniels. You have to face Bijan Robinson. You're not winning a football game. There's too much firepower on the other side on a base. Every team has a better player on their team, from Derrick Henry to Bijan Robinson to Bobby. The price of admission to go see Derrick Henry against the Miami Dolphins defense and Bijan Robinson and James Cook and Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels, like they're gonna. You think it's been bad the last 3 weeks? Wait for the next 4.
Dude, I just realized we might not even beat New Orleans with the way Spencer Rattler and that offense is playing and that defense. Are we gonna win another game? Like,
no, we may not. By the way, how did the Broncos put up 30? Jackson Darwin's will be great today. He did his job. The defense, 33 points, and they gave up in the fourth quarter to the Broncos. 33 points. I don't think the Dolphins have scored 33 points in the last 3 games combined. 33 points in the fourth quarter, the Broncos. 33 points in the fourth quarter. That's incredible. They won 33-32. They had no points. I think they were dead in the water until they scored those 33 points. They couldn't score points the entire game. It was amazing.
Oh man. Well, look, man, if we had to do a breaking news show tomorrow, I should be available. I'm off tomorrow, but I'm not off. I'm waiting at the DMV.
So Bobby's off. Brett's off. We can get Brett.
No, I work day shift this week, but I would definitely, if you guys do one tomorrow night, I would jump all over it.
Be multiple shows if that actually happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out to everybody who tuned in today and was in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. We appreciate you guys hopping in. Don't forget to obviously subscribe to the channel. We got if you're a Dolphins fan, we got everything that you're looking for. But also we have sports. We got basketball, baseball, wrestling. We've got it all here on FTSN. If you're a diehard Dolphins fan, you can't get enough of it, despite the team being 1-6 and everything is just garbage and trash, no matter what you feel, how you feel about it. Go check out Finn's TV. Awesome production Tuesday nights with Finn, Sammy, and the panel crew over there. I mean, I get a kick out of Steve and Shari and those guys. I listen to it. And I just get a kick out of them. And Sarni, of course, and Adrian. Shout out to Miss Finn's. If you love Dolphins content, go check out Miss Finn's everyday Dolphins content. You're driving to work, you're drinking your coffee, you're miserable, you're pissed off, you want to hate on the Miami more, you want to love on them. Go listen to Miss Finn's. And of course, George of the Finn's Faithful podcast. Shout out to him as well. I think Miss Finn's is frozen. Is she? Yeah, I think so. And so I was like, wow, she's really hardcore watching. Anyway, but that's okay. That's how wrapped up we are. It's the end of the night. But thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button. I know it's hard to say this or hard to do it, but most importantly, Dolphin fans, as always, fins up. See you guys next time. Good night, Miami.
Fins up.